Oh, what did I just do? What did I just do? Okay, is it back? Is it back? Can you guys hear me? I have no idea. I went live and then my internet immediately died like 30 seconds later. Hey! Okay. Is it working now? It's back? Okay. Alright. Oh, alright. That was a rough start. Rough. Huck. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. Alright. Sorry about that. I hope it stays live. I've been having internet trouble all week. It's been frustrating. But hopefully it'll stay long enough for the comic book club. Anyway, welcome in everybody. How you doing? Hey R&B Pikachu, Fariel, Zeph, California Kid, Shot Chronic, how you doing? What's up? Your hands look great. You can just stare at my hands for a bit if you want. I don't know. That's a little weird. That's kind of creepy. I don't know. Alright, so, this week we are doing, what are we doing? What are we doing? We should have this all in order. Oh yeah, Ghost Rider, we got Ghost Rider, we got Star Wars, is that number 17? Okay. Alright. I thought, so we got, the Star Wars, we got, let's see, Ghost Rider, um, where is you? No, that's not number 5. Where the hell is number 5? You'd think I would know what I'm doing. Hey, thank you very much. Wow. Chuck Chronic gifted a sub to Zeph. Well, that's very kind of you. That is very, very kind. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Where? Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay, so here we go. Here's what we got for today. We got a Star Wars, we got Ghost Rider with a thing kind of torn out of the front, but whatever. And we have this. I think I want to start off with the old comic, because we're coming off of R&B Pikachu stream where he's doing 1940s comics, and this comic is from 1947. I wanted to get some more Golden Age stuff to read on the stream, so I got this one pretty recently. Let me just get this tapes on there pretty good. There we go. Thank you for the gift sub. Yeah, thank you. Ew, hands. Get some gloves. Get the nudity off Twitch. Your IRL friend also does a hand cam? Nice. Laughing Mask creepy. Yeah, Laughing Mask was really creepy. By the way, guys, if you don't follow R&B Pikachu, you should. We do the comic book club every Sunday, usually, if we can. Sometimes things happen and we can't both be here, but we try. Oh, sorry, this thing is... There we go. That should be better. Alright, cool. Can't believe Met Hatch opens up Mint comic books just to read them to us. He loses thousands of dollars per stream. Yeah. Break them out of their slabs. Alright. Welcome. You're here. No ads for you. Sweet. Alright, so this is Real Clue Crime Stories, issue number 4. Commit a crime and the world is made of glass. I don't know what that means, but it's a Hillman publication. Hey, look, Ma, how's that for shooting? You're doing fine, Herman. You'll be killing cops in no time at all. The true story of Ma Barker, who raised her sons to be killers. You know, I think Boney M made a song about this woman. Although we called her Ma Baker. Alright, check this out. Man, this is old. This is old. So, Real Clue Crime Stories, published monthly by Hillman Periodicals Incorporated at 4600 Diversey Avenue, Chicago, Illinois. Wow, this is a Chicago comic book, not a New York comic. Interesting. Executive and editorial offices, 535 Fifth Avenue, New York. Oh, they do have an editorial office in New York, though. Okay. Fifth Avenue, New York, New York. Edward Cronin, editor. Volume 2, number 4, June 1947. Printed in the United States of America. Price 10 cents a copy. Subscription rate $1.20 a year. That's $1 and a score cents a year. $5 and 1 score cents a year. There we go. In the United States, possessions, and Canada. Copyright 1947 by Hillman Periodicals Incorporated. Entered as second-class matter February 24th, 1947 at the Post Office, Chicago, Illinois, under the Act of March 3rd, 1879. Focus spam? Oh, is it having problem focusing? Okay. Get the cam a chocolate bar, its sugars are low. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, camera's having a stroke. I wasn't paying attention to the camera. It looks good now, though, hopefully. Okay, so we got interesting ads here. Have fun, get laughs, and amaze your friends. Win. You know what? Let's zoom in. Win with magic cards. Deck of playing cards with special code on the back of each that tells you just exactly what it is when lying face down. Easy directions explain the code. Perform tricks, play games of poker, bridge, etc. with the same deck. Order deck today, only $1.49. How to make love. Don't wait, order now, price only 50 cents. You must have this authentic book of How to Make Love, the Mystery of Lovemaking Explained. That may help you over many problems of courtship and affairs of the heart, the great secret of wooing and winning, together with a variety of notable and appropriate model love letters. Order by number 37. Ew, squirt ring? The together ring? Wait, what? We'll get to that one. Where is this? Oh, squirt ring. Oh, okay. So we got liars' medals, barrels of fun. Man, hang this medal on your friends. Be president of your local liars club. When stories get too tall, you'll convulse everybody with laughter when you pin on the medal. Hey, Chaotic, how you doing? Surefire jokes to play on your friends. Squirt ring. Mention your new ring, and as they look closely, squirt the stream of water in their face. So real, so innocent looking, they never suspect. Calling all men. Striptease necktie that glows in the dark. She loses her clothes as she glows in the dark. Oh my gosh. Astounding new striptease neckties, the latest rage from coast to coast. Spectacular new novelty tie creation for men who demand the distinctive and unusual. Brings gasps of sheer wonder, thrilling admiration the first time you wear it. By day, smart, handsome tie that is unrivaled for sheer beauty and extravagant good looks. By night, a glorious goddess of light revealed for all to see. She loses her clothes as she glows in the dark, a glorious gleaming blonde beauty revealed in daring pose in the briefest of costumes, mysterious and magnificent. Write today, and if you don't agree with this outstanding new necktie sensation isn't the most exciting tie you've ever seen, it costs you absolutely nothing. Send no money. Special introductory offer. Send your name and address. Receive startling new striptease necktie by return mail. Pay postman just $1.64. 3 for $4.79 plus postage and keep 10 days. If in that time you aren't thrilled and delighted, return for money back without question. Oh my goodness. Amazing new together ring. Love and friendship. Oh, it's got little hands that fit together. A beautiful emblem of love and friendship and good wishes. This ring is sterling silver, which becomes more attractive as it is worn. The hands actually clasp and unclasp as illustrated. Send no money now, just name and address and ring size. Your package sent immediately. You pay postman only $2.49 plus a few cents postage and tax on arrival. Satisfaction or your money back. Learn to dance. Why be a lonely, unpopular wallflower when you can learn all the smart dances from most modern to old favorites at home, in private, without a teacher, music, or partner? So easy, even a child can learn quickly. This book should teach you in 5 days or no cost. See order coupon, only $1. Dribble glass. Make your drinking friends drool. Looks like an ordinary glass until it's tipped. Water dribbles through slits in the side. No one can detect it. Roaring laughs every time. These are goofy. Amazing magic pencil. Multiplies and divides instantly. Get the right answer every time. Mistakes are impossible with this handy new invention. Divides up to 144. Multiplies any primary number in a flash. Fits conveniently on the pencil. Send no money on arrival. Pay postman just 49 cents plus postage. Check number 593 on coupon. Marriage license. Fooler. Fill in the names and have a lot of fun fooling your friends and kidding them. It's a simulated printed marriage license the size of the usual genuine license. What? Price only 15 cents. Ask for marriage license fooler. What? Why? Hey, we got married. No, we didn't. Isn't that funny? Yes, it's a... Well, actually, I think it doesn't even come with the pencil. I think it's just an attachment that fits on the top of the pencil. And yeah, it's a little, like, cheat sheet that fits on top of your pencil. I think that's what it is. Gorgeous imitation diamond ring. Only $1.49. A bargain so rare, it's amazing. Who can tell the difference? You'll love this beautiful solitaire imitation diamond that gleams and scintillates. So much like the real thing that many folks are fooled when it's right before their very eyes. Trial offer, send no money. Just send name and address and specify Lux Imitation Diamond Ring. Send ring size, measure with a strip of paper. State whether ladies or a gentleman's. 2 rings for $2.89. On arrival, pay postman the amount plus postage. If money is sent with order, postage prepaid, then try, wear 10 days, see how others thrill and exclaim. If not delighted, return ring or rings for money back. You buy that cheap ring with the license. Yeah. Yeah, you do. You're like, look, I got a ring, we got a license, we get married. Oh, and then like 10 years later, you're like, they want to get a divorce, and you're just like, hey, you know what? It wasn't a real marriage. It was a fake. It was a fake license. We didn't really get married. So no need for a divorce. Oh goodness. All right. Oh boy. All right. Let's want to focus. There we go. Okay. What do we got? Girls can't resist. I'm trying to like just get this. There we go. I guess that's good. Men. Oh wait, what is this? Kiss me necktie as it glows in the dark. There we go. Men, boys, amaze your friends, surprise and thrill the girls. Here's the most amazing, spectacular necktie you ever wore. Smart, new, exciting, handsome by day, a lovely tie and special combination to look smart with any suit. And at night, like a miracle of light, it leaps to life with pulsing, glowing questions. Will you kiss me in the dark, baby? Think of the fun in any crowd. Think how the girls gasp with wonder as the question takes form so amazingly. And here's wonderful news. You can examine this new, utterly different, glorious tie yourself without risking a penny. Wow. Alright, I want a divorce and half your stuff. Well, you can't have half my stuff. Why not? It was a fake marriage. Yeah. How to win kisses. Treatise tells. Oh, how wonderful it is to hold a beautiful girl in your arms and plant a loving kiss upon her soft, yielding lips. But you must know how to win kisses. If you want your share, get this thrilling, breathtaking treatise. How to Win Kisses and Influence Your Lover. Only 19 cents. Fun with amazing new magic dice. Here's a special fare of fun dice that certainly can do wonders. It's amazing, easy to predict numbers, perform amusing tricks. No one can guess the hidden secret unless you tell them. Display amazing control, yet the real reason is cleverly concealed from everyone. Fun and fascination, easy directions, explains all details. You can perform many magic tricks, price only $2.98. Get a pair today. Amazing, beautiful horseshoe ring. Men, this handsome ring, handmade, hand engraving, inlaid with simulated pearl, is a knockout. Monol metal is guaranteed for 20 years. Supplies limited. Rush your order. Wait, what happens to it after 20 years? It just melts? Alright, well, this is starting out interesting with the ads. Pretty cool. Alright, let's get to the story. Let's get to the story. Okay, here we are. Commit a crime and the world is made of glass, it says. I don't understand what that means, but wait, I'm doing it. Hold on. What? Why is this thing like falling? Why is it falling, huh? There we go. All right. Mother of crime. Let's see. Focus. Come on, focus. Focus, Pinky. Focus. Okay. It's kind of spazzing out on me here. All right, good? It's good? I think it's good. All right. They got Herman, Ma. That's all right. I got 3 more sons to fight the FBI. The carrion call of crime echoes in many black hearts, and the urge to evil is answered by women as well as men. This is the true story of Ma Barker, who raised a brood of public enemies and flung a brazen challenge to the forces of law and order. The trails of her infamous exploits ended in a roaring, bloody battle as the FBI wrote a fiery finish to her career of crime. A real Clue crime story. They got Herman. That's alright, I got 3 more. What if they just weighted dice, or if you roll a 12 and get lunared? yeah, oh my gosh. Remember when I got lunared? Rolled a 12 and just got destroyed. I was... Man, it's wild reading a comic book from 1947. In that fiery region, which is supposed to be the last port of call for the wicked, we'd probably find... This way, buddy. Here I am. I was Mrs. Clark Barker. The FBI knew me better as Ma Barker. Ha! I bet my name is still singeing their files. Oh, you watched some clips? Of course, my boys and I don't rate much next to the big names down here. But we sure made the headlines in our day. Oh, she's in hell. Okay, that's cool. She's just sitting there, flames everywhere, like, this is where I live now. All my ambition and hopes were centered around my 4 sons, all good boys, though some were not very careful. I did so want them to get ahead and gain renown in their respective fields. Independent Press. Herman Barker sought in 5 states. Doc Barker sentenced to life imprisonment for murder. Lloyd Barker jailed in robbery. Fred Barker caught by police with... Their father was a pest, always picking on the children and myself. I'll never forget that night in 1927, when he left so puny and so mad. I'll stand no more of this, all my sons criminals, and encouraged by their mother, I'm leaving. Don't hurry back, dearie. I'll beat it. Nice going, Ma. It's about time you gave that shrimp the brush. He doesn't see crime as an art, Herman. We mustn't blame him. Just forget him. Won't be hard to forget that runt. Say, Ma, I got a few pals of mine coming today. Mind if they stay a while? You can invite anyone here, Herman. Only stay clear of the cops. If they do catch you, don't talk. Remember, there's nothing dumber than a cop. So she's not in hell. This is her telling the story. So she's in hell. She's dead. She's in hell, and she's like telling you the story from hell. I don't know. I guess the viewer or the reader just arrived in hell, and they just met Ma Barker, and they're like, "Hey, what are you in for?" She's like, "Let me tell you my story." Herman was a very industrious boy. After his friends came, they all left to pick up some easy money in Newton, Kansas. "Start the car, we gotta beat it. Bam, bam, bam. Give the rats plenty of lead. Give them plenty of lead, see?" Herman almost made the upper brackets, but he didn't live to spend his share of the loot. They got Herman! It's the cover. As the law nailed Herman, I was alone. My 3 sons were in jail. Fred and Lloyd were up for robbery, while Doc, my eldest, was doing a life stretch for murder. Then in 1931, Freddie was strung and returned home with a pal of his named Alvin Karpis. "I've waited a long time for you to get out of stir, Freddie. I'm going to show you two how to beat the law." "Gee, Ma, that's great. See? See, Al? I told you she was smart." "I taught 'em all the tricks I ever knew. We practiced again and again and again. Keep the wheel steady, Alvin. Now, Freddie, if you don't hit the target this time, you don't get any dinner." "Aw, Ma, we've been at this all day." Rat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat. They're practicing drive-bys. That's great. "Yahoo! Attaboy! You sure can hit 'em." I rehearsed them thoroughly and thinking split-second alibis when under questioning. "Remember, you gotta answer my questions in 30 seconds. Quick now. Where you been? Oh my gosh. Where were you between 10 and 11 last night? Make it a good alibi, quick." "Gee, Ma, not so fast." "Alright. Now that you've got those bulletproof vests on, you must get used to 'em. Learn to trust 'em." "Ma, they're too heavy, I tell you." "Too heavy, huh? They won't be too heavy when they stop a copper's bullet." Rat-tat-tat-tat. "Ma, don't! No, no!" She just shoots him. Oh my goodness. This is nuts. Pro gangsters practice their drive-bys. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. Well, we're ready to go, boys. We'll round up some men we can trust, and then we'll rake in the dough. Oop. Focus. There we go. Lady Justice won't stand a chance. Ha ha ha! She just has a statue of the Statue of... Wait, that's not the Statue of Liberty. That's, oh, that's Justice. She's blind. She's holding the law in one hand and the scales in the other. She just has that on her wall, just shooting it up. Cool. We robbed stores and banks, anyone with money. We operated within one state so the G-men couldn't touch us. Don't worry about any bystanders. Get that cop. Okay, Mr. Big, we'll take your wad. There you are, Mac. Don't feel a thing now, do you? Oh man, they just mugged that man. We did fine as time went on. Then one day, "Ma, we got trouble. It's Vic Wilson again." "Vic? He's the best trigger man we have. Been with us 5 months now. Has he been drinking again?" Man, alcohol. It's always the downfall to good gangsters, huh? Alcohol or cocaine? "Yeah, he's gassed. When he drinks, he talks too much. I tell you, Ma, Vic's liable to spill the beans." "Perhaps you'd better bring Vic in for a little lesson." Vic Wilson's tongue never wagged again. It was never established who shot him, but it wasn't very hard to guess. "Hello, Ma. Bam!" Come in, Vic. I think I read that out of order, but yeah, whatever. Later, I came up with a brilliant idea. No use kidding ourselves, boys. We need real dough, not chicken feed. And I know how to get it. Kidnapping's the answer. We'll make $500,000. Clearly, it was a gray hand that shot him. Yes, clearly. But the law could never prove it. That was in 1933. And that's when I made my mistake. Kidnapping's a federal offense. The G-men were soon hot on our trail. Freddie and I took off for Florida to hide out. They'll never find us. Cops and G-men are idiots. But I don't like to hide out. I like action. Hold it, Ma. The G-men got the other boys in Chicago. We're alone now, Ma. What? So what if they did catch the fools? The G-men are too dumb here to trace us here in Florida. Ma, I'm afraid. Stop it. I'll have no hysterics, Freddy. Ow! Alright, inside. This is the G-men. You're surrounded. Come out with your hands up. Is that how the FBI introduced themselves? This is the G-men. Stop fumbling. Get that bulletproof vest on. We'll shoot our way out. They'll get us, Ma. They'll get us for sure. Ma, Freddy, come out one at a time. This is your last chance. I can hear you, G-Man. Come and get us. Ha 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 ha. Rat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat. Okay, men. They want to fight. Give it to them. I got one. I got a Fed. Just keep firing, son. We'll drive them bums out of here. They can't plug us with these bulletproof vests. Okay, you sharpshooters, do your stuff. Get it over quickly. Let's go. You take the left, I'll take the right. Step aside, X-Men. The G-Men are taking over. You got this coming to you, nice lady. Crack! Crack! Damn, the snipers. The snipers got 'em. Sharpshooters. 2 shots and it's over. Ooh. Well, Freddy and I ceased firing after those Fed snipers let loose. Our vests were bulletproof, all right, but both shots got us between the eyes. We wound up in this place soon after, and from what we'll understand, we'll be here for eternity. Don't get me wrong now, this place ain't lonely, it's just hot. It's crowded with loads of wise birds who, like myself, just chose the wrong team to play on. Because the foregoing story character, Vic Wilson, was never convicted, this name is fictitious, and is used as a substitute for his real name. Oh, so Vic Wilson isn't a real person. Well, he was a real person, but that's not his real name. Interesting. Okay. Neat. Alright. What do you guys think of that story? The story of Ma Baker. Or Ma Barker. I don't know, whichever it is. What do you guys think? Is it a good one? I thought it was alright. Next up we have Dandy John Dolan. Dandy John Dolan. He's dandy. Ooh, look at the hangman in the back with the noose. Did they hang John Dolan? I wonder. How did they know she was telling about the story in hell, though? Artistic license. Alright. It was 1875, and a flashily dressed young dandy strode the streets of downtown New York. Ah, what a beautiful day! Yes, indeed, very beautiful day. Hey, Dandy, come here. Ah, good morning, Crimpy. Dandy, when you gonna cut out like that, big talking like somebody big? Come off it. dear Crimpy, because one deals with bums, one does not have to be one. Okay, okay, what you got in the package? That, my dirty little friend, contains my latest invention. These are my fighting shoes. You see how the jagged piece of axe blade makes a good weapon for kicking? Oh, focus, focus. Hey, that's a slick idea. One must keep up with the times, Crimpy. I believe in using only the latest weapons and relieving people of their money. I gotta hand it to you, Dandy. You sure know how to make tools. Ah, a young dandy. Hey, Chaos Nick. Woo, focus. There we go. No, maybe. But I still say you shouldn't dress so classy. It makes everybody look at us noticeable like. Tut tut, little man. Let us be on with our work. Keep an eye on my dress shoes, Crimpy. They cost me $20. You and your fancy clothes. Dandy's work required only one thing, a victim. I'll go up and start conversing with that prosperous-looking gentleman. When he lights my cigar, do your stuff. Righto. Pardon me, sir, but may I have a light? Why, surely, yes. What? Stand aside, Crimpy. I must try out my new shoes. Oh, he's gonna step on him with his axe blade shoes. Oh gosh. This guy is a sadist. Oh no, this is brutal. Ugh. Yes, indeed, they work fine. Just fine. No, no! $8. Not bad. Let's see now. 2 for you and 6 for me. What do you mean, only 2 for me? On second thought, I think I'll keep it all. You're too sloppy a person to work with. You're a dirty double-crossing dog, Dandy. You'll be sorry for this. Piffle. Dandy pauses on Greenwich Street. Oh, that's a smart-looking brush factory. Mr. No has built for himself. Good night, Mr. No. Ha! The rich old fool is going home. I think my next job will be separating him from some of his money. The next morning, Sunday, Mr. No rises early and, business is so good I can't even inspect my own factory on a working day because everyone's so busy. Shouldn't complain about that, of course, though, eh? What's that noise? I've caught you, thief. Up with your hands. Suddenly, Dandy grabs an iron bar. I hardly expected you today, Mr. No. You'd have been so much better off at home. Oh, he had some money on him. Might as well take it. My, what a beautiful cane. Another beautiful day. I hardly expected to add such a beautiful cane to my collection. When No's body is found, Detective Dorsey is put on the case. Oh, he killed him? Ooh. You say Mr. No carried a cane when he left this morning, Mrs. No? Yes, it was his favorite one. There was a monkey's head on the handle. A monkey's head. Now that's an odd-looking cane. A cane people would notice. Detective Dorsey checks the pawn shops. No, sir. Nobody brought a cane like that in. I guess he didn't hawk it after all. Let's see. Is the stream still going? Just want to check because my internet has been very, very spotty lately. Is the stream still good? Yes? Okay, thank you. Cool. Alright. Later, Dorsey meets Crimpy. You know, Dorsey, there are a lot of strange sights in our neighborhood you haven't seen. What are you getting at, Crimpy? Oh, such as swell walking cane collection, Dandy Johnny Dolan has stuff like that. Okay, Crimpy, I get it. You'd better watch your step yourself. The police hurry to Dandy's home. Hey, what's the meaning of this, copper? Just a social visit, Dandy. I just wanted to see your cane collection. Don't mind, do you? You're crazy. I've got it, boys. The monkey's head. Grab him. Why, you dirty, rotten bums, who ratted on me? Who tipped you off? Tisk, tisk. What happened to your gentle, manly language? Your pal Crimpy won't like such talk when we have him join you. So, he done it. That stool pigeon, I should have killed him. That stool pigeon? What an insult. Later, we found enough evidence in Dandy's hideout to put you on ice for a while too, Crimpy. But you wouldn't do that. I tipped you off, didn't I? I helped you out. I don't know why he's Irish all of a sudden, but okay. Sure, you rats usually double-cross each other. We play it that way, and get two at a time. Blinkers! It ain't fair! It ain't! Vote for Adams. Who the hell's Adams? And on April 21st, 1876, Dandy Johnny Dolan attended his last social function in the courtyard of the Tombs. Ooh, they hung him. Brutal. Brutal. I guess he did murder a bunch of people, so, well, there you go. Alright. What do you guys think of that one? Was that a better story than the Ma Baker one, or do you like the Ma Baker one better? Next up we have The Trail of the Gun-Loving Killer. Ooh, interesting. In 1918, a young man was growing up in Pitcher, Oklahoma. His name was Wilbur Underhill. And this boy loved two things, above all others in life, money and guns. He discovered that he could obtain the first if he had the second. When Wilbur got the guns, a new public enemy was born. Alright. I don't know many. The gangster training course is pretty great. Yeah, I like the... I don't know, man. Oh, okay. Yeah, I like the gangster training course one. That was pretty fun. Wilbur was just 18 when he began taking his two loves seriously. Hey, where'd you get the slick gun, Wilbur? What's the diff? I got it, didn't I? That is a lot of guns. Look at all these guns here. What's he got? He's got a shotgun. He's got a Tommy gun. He's got some kind of rifle there. That looks like it could be a broom handle Mauser, possibly. That one looks like maybe a 1911 Colt. Possibly a Walther? There's a revolver there. I don't know. A lot of guns. How's that for steady nerves? Holy cow, you really can handle that thing. You just shot the birds out of the sky. Back in the days when you could just go out on your front porch and shoot birds out of the sky. But this hunk of iron is just a pea shooter. Wait till you see the rods. I'll own someday soon. Pearl handle stuff, German Lugers, maybe even a Tommy gun. Ah, don't talk silly, Wilbur. That image reminds me of a video about a guy trying to conceal as many guns as possible. He had like 15 guns, including a whole shotgun. He's just wearing it in his coats, or his coat. But Wilbur's obsession for guns was grimly sincere. While still in his early 20s, he served a term for burglary. I don't want to see you back in this prison, Underhill. You're smart enough to go straight. Missouri State Prison. Maybe you're half right, Warden. I'm smart enough. So long. He had a t-shirt, no coat. He pulled it out of his pants. It was against his leg. Jeez. It seemed that Wilbur Underhill had done some thinking in prison, but his thoughts were evil ones. Dark and evil. What are you gaping at, sonny boy? I know you guys. You're the Kimes brothers. This fella is Ray Terrell. You're bank robbers. You get around, don't you, Buster? Hold it, Kimes. I got the score on you with state prison. I want a job with you lugs. Focus, please. Please focus. Alright. So it was shortly afterward that officials learned of a brazen new member of the Kimes gang. It was the Kimes brothers in terror, all right. But there was another thug with them, a tall, wavy-haired punk. So the boys have a new recruit, eh? However, Wilbur didn't last long with the Kimes mob, but not because he wasn't tough enough. What's eating you, Kimes? Nothing wrong with cleaning these rods. Can you think of anything prettier? If you can leave them for half a minute, I'd like to talk shop. Listen, you. Guns are our tools in trade, but you like to shoot 'em just to hear 'em go boom. That's how guys get fried young in life. What's the matter? Am I a little too rough for you? Not rough, just foolhardy. You have to slow up on that trigger finger. Guess again, Kimes. I'm striking out on my own. I like playing it rough. Too tough at 25 for the notorious Kimes brothers, Wilbur began dealing the cards his own way. It was Christmas Eve in Okmulgee, Oklahoma, sometime later when... Merry Christmas, mister. What do you have? The dough in that cash register, chump. Hand it over. Say, what is this, a gag? Sure, it's funny as a funeral. Bam, bam! Woo, he just murdered that guy. Brutal. Whoa. Sometimes we have trouble with the focusing. There we go. Ha! Dropped him like an ex-polecat. The police in Okmulgee moved fast. They overtook Underhill on a state highway. Drop that rod, Underhill. Pretty clever, ain't ya, you bulls? Get out of that car, you rat. I was a dope. Those local cops are smarter than I thought. But maybe I'm a bit smarter. Several days later, an accomplice managed to smuggle some hacksaws to him, and the young killer fled to the local jail. Easy does it. During the course of the following months, Underhill made his headquarters in Wichita, Kansas. My goodness, this wave of robberies in the city is terrible. It's a disgrace, sir. You'd think the police would do something. Haha, these jerks are really bothered. Hi, gorgeous. Wilbur, why haven't you called me? Shh, baby, don't call me by my real name here. Come on, I want to show you some new additions to my gun collection. Oi! Focus, dang it. Alright. Oh my goodness. Would you... Okay, this is... There we go? Okay. Come on, camera, you can do it. I know. God, I would love to have a webcam that actually has like a manual focus I could just set it on. Beauties, aren't they? That one's worth a small fortune. But you're so silly risking your life for these. Why don't you quit now? You could have money. We could be married. Not yet, sugar. Tomorrow I'll take you out while I practice shooting. You'll love it. You'll just sit there while I shoot. I won't let you touch any of them, but you can sit there and watch. Focus Club, week 12, yeah. Underhill liked to practice with his wide collection of guns. Now I make believe that tree's a cop, see? Then I let go, like this, and presto, no more coppers. Bam, bam, bam. Ugh, let's go back, Wilbur. Meanwhile, nearby, funny thing, that young stranger owning all them fancy shooting irons. I better tell the police, just in case. Yeah, that guy's got a pipe. He's smoking a corn cob from the looks of it. I was having a corn cob just before I started. With, what did I put in that? I think I put in Royal Yacht Mixture. Yeah, that stuff's good. Anyway, the next day, Wilbur had a caller. Sorry to bother you, Mr. Johnson, but I'll have to search your room. So I'm a suspicious character, eh? Come in. Do you have a warrant? Crack. Curiosity once killed a cop. That's how the proverb might go. Once again, Wilbur found himself in the toils of the law, but this time he was quick to admit his guilt. Sure, I killed the cop. Alright, lock him up for trial. Yes, Wilbur had a reason for his confession when captured. For during this period there was no capital punishment in Kansas. Ha! They can't hang me on this rap, but I'd be sure to swing if they ship me out of state for that clerk's murder. I'll just take it easy and wait for a chance to make a break. It'll come. I'm not too worried. Amazing as it sounds, Underhill did escape with 10 other prisoners in a mass prison break. We're out, boys. Those guards can't hit anything. Spat. The underworld was astonished. Here was a man the police seemed helpless to hold. Hi, Underhill. How'd you do it? You must have a charmed life. Nah, I just play the angles. But listen, boys, I'm gonna need a new supply of guns. Gats cost money, Underhill. Okay, this is a wad I salted away for a cloudburst. Now let's see your stock. Pipe that roll, will ya? That lug has everything. I'll take this, and those two there. I'll give you another $1,000 for a car. Where you going, Underhill? Me? I'm gonna get married. So long, boys. Months passed by as the authorities searched in vain for Underhill. Ha ha. If those dicks could only see me now, honey. Quiet, darling. This is our wedding. Then came the news that burst like a bombshell in police headquarters. What? Underhill has been seen in Shawnee, Oklahoma? Get the address, fast. Boys, we got a hot lead. Underhill is living at a house in Shawnee. It's a big chance to nab that rat. 15 heavily armed men later surrounded the house in Shawnee. A light shone in the upstairs window. Underhill's up there all right. I know him anywhere. You're surrounded, Underhill. Don't reach for a gun. Says you. Rat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat. I got him. He's done for. Sit tight. Don't move. That guy's a tough baby. How well this officer knew his man, for Underhill, though wounded, returned a deadly blast at his besiegers below. Let's see how you take it, cops. Through a hail of bullets, Underhill staggered from the house and, amazingly enough, managed to break through the police cordon. Hey, Imperial Salsa, thank you for the 4 months. Thank you so much. That's very, very kind of you. How are you doing today? Rat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat. This comic book I'm reading is from 1947. This is Real Clues Crime Stories. Issue number 4 from 1947. Alright, where was I? Here we go. Through a hail of bullets, Underhill staggered from the house and, amazingly enough, managed to break through the police cordon. He won't fall. The punk must be made of iron. An hour later, Underhill was found lying on a bed in a nearby furniture store. I don't know what's kept this man alive. He has 13 slugs in his body. I guess we all got a crack at him. Don't tell me he'll live. A week later, Wilbur Underhill finally died, and once again justice triumphed, as it always does. That's it, Chief. He's gone. Good. I mean a killer I never seen. Alright, well that was that story. What do you guys think of that one? I mean, I guess they're all kind of the same, more or less. Person does a bunch of crimes, police hunt him down, ends up in a gunshot, or a gunfight, whatever, a shootout, and then they die or get arrested. Men, ladies, here's the jacket you wanted at a sensational savings. Hope all is well. Love your comic book reading. Club is going strong. Thanks. Yeah, it's going pretty well today. I'm just hoping my internet won't die on me because it died like the second I went live, and it's been kind of spotty today, but hopefully it holds out. Ladies, only $3.95. Special combination offer, both for only $7.95, or the men's for $4.95. Hurry, quantities are limited. Imagine buying like a nice coat for $4. Imagine making like 10 cents an hour at your job, though. Ladies, you'll love it. Take this jacket for carefree ease and for that certain poise which being in the know on style gives you. That new low hip line is a flash. From the fashion front, perky shoulders, suave yoke. You'll adore its smart, distinctive lines. You will always enjoy its caressing warmth. It's tailored to favorites spun right, justly popular for its wear, for its beauty. It will be your prop and mainstay, season in, season out. Select yours from one of these seasons' latest shades. Camel Tan, hey, Camel Tan, or Stop Red, sizes 12 to 20. Men's, ideal for sports leisure. Is that guy holding a pipe? What is he holding? I'm not really sure. I can't tell. He's holding something. Here's a sturdy He-Man's jacket of 1,001 uses that will keep pace with the fastest tempo of your busy day. Cut for real comfort of spun right, magically flexible, colorful, and smartly tailored, as well as warm. Snappy yoked back, harmonizing buttons for looks and wear. Grand deep saddle pockets, streamed sides. Stride along as you will. You'll live in it from dawn till night. Choose Camel Tan with the following choice of harmonizing colors. Forest green or luggage brown. Yes, I want my coat to be, or my vest. What is this? What is this? He-Man's jacket. Jacket. Okay, I want my jacket to be luggage brown. That sounds great. Check your size from 34 to 50 on the order coupon to the right. Nice. It's kind of cool. You need to use that coupon before it expires. Yeah. Yeah, when does it expire? Can I still send it in? What's this one? This is interesting. Okay. Here is the greatest billfold bargain in all America. 4 big values in one for $1.98. This smart leather billfold and pass case, handy built-in coin holder for your loose change, genuine rabbit's foot key holder with flexible gilt chain, 3-color identification plate, beautifully engraved with your name, address, and social security number. That is kind of cool. That's neat. I want it. You get this smart-looking, beautifully styled leather billfold with pass case to hold membership and credit cards, patented snap feature, locks securely so currency and valuables can't fall out. I love that it has these little coin slots. That's so neat. What a crazy wallet. So you put your bills up there, and then you can put quarters there, you can put dimes in there, nickels and pennies in there. Back when, dimes and nickels and pennies were actually worth something. The change holder and the billfold is actually a great idea. Yeah, it is. I like that. I like that. I mean, I would still probably use that because, you know, sometimes you need change when you buy something at the store and you're like, you know what, let me use my pennies. Pull it out and slip, 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 slip. There you go. This smart leather billfold comes to you complete with a large built-in coin holder, a self-contained pass case, rabbit's foot key holder with chain, and engraved identification plate. Yeah, I think I would use that. I like the engraved identification plate thing too. I think that's pretty cool. I don't know why it comes with a rabbit's foot. That's a little weird. How many rabbits have they killed for this thing? Hey, Indie Dev Guy. Hey, Matt. I'll take 2. Alright. I wonder if there are any of these for sale. This is 1947. I bet they're kind of rare. I don't know. Maybe? I mean, they're practically an antique now. You get this genuine rabbit's foot key holder with flexible gilt chain in addition to the handy coin holder, which is securely fastened to the billfold as pictured above. You get this beautiful 3-color emergency identification plate which carries your full name, address, and social security number. Perfect identification record for you. Huh. Send no money, just mail this coupon today. Let's see. All right. Here's something new in a billfold. Without a doubt, the handiest and greatest billfold bargain that you'll be likely to see for a good many years to come. Designed by skilled billfold craftsmen and made available to our customers at a price that's sensationally low for a billfold with so many unusual features. If you have shopped around, you know it's virtually impossible to get even an ordinary type billfold, which holds just currency for less than $2. Then take a good look at this new smart leather billfold and see all you get for $1.98. Besides the spacious compartment at the back, which can be used for currency, checks, paper, etc., there's a beautiful plastic coin holder for your loose change built right into your billfold. Then there's the built-in pass case with 4 pockets, each protected by celluloid to protect the soiling of your valuable membership and credit cards. We also send you a genuine rabbit foot, an attached gilt chain for your keys, in addition to a specially designed 3-color emergency identification plate on which we engrave your social security number, your name, and your address. Man, here's a billfold for you. Actually, 4 big values in one. Everything you need, everything you use regularly, right where you want them. Easy to get at, handy, efficient, durably made. The neatest, most complete billfold you've ever seen. No rush, so rush your order today. If after receiving your billfold you don't agree that this is the most outstanding bargain you ever came across, return it and we'll cheerfully refund your money. Sweet. He says... Hey, it says mail it today. Today is today. I think it's still good. That was an interesting thingamajig. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I actually want one of those now. I'm gonna look on eBay later and see if I can find one. It sounds really useful. Whoa, come with me and die. The true story of psychological murder in London during the Blitz. Man, that was like 4 years ago. Alright, what's going on here? Hey! Hey, Shot Chronic, thank you for the gift sub to Bacon Genie. That's awesome. I really appreciate it. Thank you. You guys are too nice to me. Oh, we want to focus, maybe? Focus? Oh my goodness. Half of this stream is just me fighting with the camera, trying to focus. I'm sorry. Would you... Alright, there we go. Dang, more gift subs. I may not always be here, but when I am... Well, thank you. I appreciate it. You're very kind. If I zoom out just a little bit, that seems to maybe fix it. Alright, so this is the true story of psychological murder in London during the Blitz. Yes, thank you very much for the gift sub. Very kind. I say, there's no cause for alarm. Good Godfrey, you don't think well, I was merely using this knife to open a letter. If it's the sinister that frightens you, it's more likely to lurk in that dashed London fog out there than here at Scotland Yard. The fog to a policeman like myself, incidentally, I'm Chief Inspector Greeno. Wait, what? The fog to a policeman like myself, incidentally, I'm Chief Inspector Greeno, means more than foul weather. It means danger for the unwary. Those whom the eyes of the law cannot protect in the fog. If you see every 5 or 10 years, the dark history of crime records the appearance of a criminal whose sole intent is not robbery, assault, or blackmail, but only to kill. It was such a killer that appeared out of the fog one night in London, February 1942. Help! Help! Ah! And after brutally stabbing his victim again and again, the murderer vanished in the fog that spawned him. A few nights later, the man who came to be known as the modern Jack the Ripper struck once more. Oh no, don't! Please don't! Even the frequent rain of enemy bombs did not deter this creature of the night from his ghastly work. Take shelter, it's an air raid! My glasses! Help, my glasses are broken, I can't find my way to a shelter, please help! This way, miss. I'll lead you to the shelter. Just come with me. Oh no, man, this is dark. I don't know, sir, how to thank you. It's stupid of me, but I can hardly see without my glasses. Have we much further to go? No, miss, this alley will do nicely. Now you shall find shelter at the city morgue. Ha 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 ha! You're Jack the Ripper! Help! But this time, the killer's knife thrust was halted by a sudden shot. Air! What's going on, I say? A young man delivering wine to a nightclub had come unsuspectingly on the scene. Stop him! Stop him! It's Jack the Ripper! Too late, miss. Seems the gent dropped this in haste. I'll turn in to the first bobby I meet. The next morning at Scotland Yard, it was given to me by the witness of the attempted murder, Inspector Greeno. Well, it may or may not be a clue. The identification tag of Jack Robbins, eh? I'm going to have a little chat with the owner of this tag. Later that day, I paid a visit to the commanding officer of Jack Robbins, a cadet in the Royal Air Force. Why, I'd say Robbins is a fine chap, Inspector. Comes from a good family, is a hard worker, honest and likable. His flying record is perfect. That puts a damp on my suspicions, but I trust you'll allow me to see him in his barracks for a talk. On the way to Robbins' barracks, my persistent questioning of his companions revealed another view of Robbins' character. Just a moment. You referred to Robbins as the Count. Is the lad a count? No, he just likes to think he is. Robbie's all right, except he likes himself. Thinks he's a lady killer and all that. I didn't find Robbins in his room that day, but a thorough search of his quarters resulted in a startling find. This knife you found in Robbins' room is the dried blood and a fingerprint of one of the murdered girls, Inspector Greeno. Good. The trail is hot. Have Cadet Jack Robbins brought in for questioning at once. When Robbins was taken into custody, he seemed outraged at the When Robbins was taken into custody, he seemed outraged innocence itself. I'm not really sure what the sentence is. Okay. Cadet Robbins, I've only one question to ask you. If your answer is satisfactory, you may go. Where were you the night of March 3rd? Why, I was in a town about 80 miles from here. Wait, I've got a Liberty Pass for that night to prove it. Can't say I'm exactly flattered by your suspicions, Inspector. Scotland Yard is not above making mistakes, but if you don't mind, I'll send this past to the lab oratory before I make any apologies. But of course, I knew that ultraviolet test would show that I had my man. Aha! Cadet Robbins, not only were you suspiciously fast with an alibi, but the alibi is a lie. The ultraviolet rays proved your pass is a forgery. Yes, Robbins, you're the monster of Piccadilly, the modern Jack the Ripper. Robbins paid the penalty for his hideous crimes. That was 5 years ago. Blasted fog. Wonder what it's hiding tonight. A maniacal killer, perhaps? A fiend with a split personality like Robbins? I wonder. Oh, that one was pretty different. Okay, interesting. Oh, hey, up next we actually have a short story here. Okay, and then we have another little thing there. All right. This short story is called Backfire. Sheriff Sommer had a good half-mile lead on his posse when he broke free of the desert brush. Ahead, the glaring white expanse of a dry lake bed stretched to the horizon. He was grateful for this cool, early morning hour, but there were many things which spoiled his pleasure. Behind, he could hear the faint but increasing clatter of his helpers, riding up, but ahead there was nothing. That's funny, he thought to himself. They couldn't have been more than a mile ahead, and now they're gone. Carefully, he turned his mount and retraced his path, his keen gray eyes reading any messages scuffed in the desert sand. He found the trail out of the fleeting outlaws, 2 of them, and his own prints. He then dismounted and led his horse so there could be no mistake. The prints led directly back to the parched lake, went a few feet onto the hard-packed surface, and vanished. The sheriff shrugged in annoyance, but there was a definite determination in the set of his shoulders. The duties galloped up while he was thinking, reined in, and dismounted. Jackson walked over to the sheriff, his face a study of bewilderment. Same old stuff, boss? His voice cracked. They vanished again? I'm afraid so, Jack. Sommer sounded defeated. The 4th time it's happened. We get on their trail, run them to the lake bed, then nothing. He stared at the packed sands, too smooth even for prints of horses' hoofs, and smiled bitterly. They certainly pick a perfect place to vanish. This stuff wouldn't show the trail of a bulldozer. The deputy's eyes lighted with an idea. Do you think they could be using an airplane or a blimp or something? Maybe they get into something like that and then turn the horses loose. If they did, the sheriff pointed out, we'd at least find one of those ponies roaming around. As his deputy nodded, he asked, Also, there would be some trace the plane might have left on the lake bed. A few oil drippings or some spilled gas. But the way it stacks up, there's absolutely nothing. The 2 men stared gloomily at the hard white ground until Sommer clambered back on his weary pony. Well, he drawled tiredly, they must be somewhere around here. If you boys stick with me, we'll sure catch them this time. Somehow. The men nodded agreement, and the sheriff gave rapid direction. In a few minutes, the area was a beehive of action. Just curious, why is there like a yellow smear there? Sheriff Sommer had ample reason to worry. 4 times in the last month there had been a holdup in the little town, and 4 times he and his able deputies had tracked the criminals to this spot. From here on, the trail vanished. But this time Sommer vowed it would be different. If it took the tired men the whole day, they would comb the region until the traces showed up again. The crooks had to be here, somewhere. There was nowhere else to go. On the left of the lake bed was Blind Canyon, and in every other direction stretched the endless desert. Men couldn't cross that burning waste on a husky elephant or even a camel, the sheriff thought. Camels, Zeph. Camels. Sommer and Jackson rode leisurely to the entrance of the canyon, surveying the work of the posse. Every inch of the white salt flat was combed, and every possible break in the surrounding brush, through which the robbers might have slipped. One by one, the searchers came back to report, and all reported the same thing. Not a trace of the fleeing bandits. Disheartened, the sheriff thanked the men for helping, and he and Jackson started walking their horses up Blind Canyon. That's the fourth time we've looked here, too. Sommer's voice was bitter. But we can't pass up any bets on a job like this. His deputy nodded silently as they inched up the rocky gorge clear to the end. As Sommer had feared, there was no trace of anything on the rocky ground, and the two men stared with a single thought toward the entrance of the old Santa Ana mine, abandoned for years. They looked at each other, and neither could keep back a slight smile. Fourth time for this, too, the deputy said. But I guess we'd do it again, huh? We sure do, the sheriff answered. We pass up nothing, or both of us will be looking for another job by next election. They left their horses in the comparative cool of the ravine bottom and scrambled up toward the mine entrance. Panting and sweating, they peered down the shaft into black darkness. Sheriff Sommer was the first to move and stepped into the cave. A few feet in, he recoiled, retreating toward the light. His entire face was strung and bearded with cobwebs. Well, that's that. He wiped the clinging strands free. If anyone is hiding in there, he's second cousin to a spider. His deputy grinned in sympathy, helping him brush the sticky threads from his face and clothes. But neither of them grinned on the long, hot ride back into town. After a cool shower and 3 cups of coffee, the sheriff felt much better physically, but much worse mentally. Not only his job, but his reputation and the safety of his fellow citizens was at stake. He propped his long legs on the battered desk, idly leafing through a worn magazine as he muttered to his sleepy deputy. You know, Jackson, those crooks have to go somewhere. He flipped a few pages leisurely. People don't just fade into the air. This is the 20th. His brow wrinkled as he thumbed rapidly back through the pages, but his voice continued. The 20th century, and... The magazine whipped suddenly through the air and crumpled into a corner as Sommer uncoiled like a spring. I've got it, Jackson. I've got it. His voice was wild and happy. Strap on your guns and let's go. Puzzled, but obedient, the deputy did as he was told, and the two men were soon galloping across the waste toward the lake bed. There was no time for talking, and Jackson followed his boss straight up Blind Canyon, leaping from his saddle just below the abandoned mine. He saw Sommer draw both guns, and he did the same as he followed up the slope to the entrance. Once there, the sheriff stood back and to one side. With no warning, he aimed one gun down the cobwebbed shaft and let go with 6 blasting shots. As the echoes died out, Jackson watched his superior curiously, thinking that worry may have upset his mind. The sheriff stepped back, grinning, and shouted down the black hole. Okay, you guys, come on out, you cobweb experts. We've figured out your wrinkle now. There was no answer, and Sommer called again. Do you want to come out or stay there while we cement up the entrance? I'll give you 10 seconds to answer. To Jackson's surprise, there was a hollow echo of movement deep in the shaft. In less than a minute, 2 men emerged hands high with masses of sticky cobwebs blanketing their clothes and faces. Fear and discomfort mingled in their expressions as Jackson quickly searched them. Sommer kept the thugs at bay while his deputy strode into the darkness from which he soon emerged. With 2 confused, frightened horses, the officers quickly handcuffed the prisoners and rode behind the walking felons into town, leading the spare horses. The sheriff was taking no chances of a last-minute try for escape. He laughed grimly as he explained it all to the deputy. Maybe it's what you call luck. Maybe common sense, maybe both. But that magazine I looked at had an article about these Hollywood fellows, about how they invented and used a cobweb machine to make old houses and caves look shivery. And to think we figured no one would hide out in that mine, just because of the spider webs. He continued bitterly, why, one of these tin horns read the story first, I reckon, and like all wise guys, he thought he could outsmart everyone else. Sure, Jackson agreed. They never figured there was a chance that the sheriff might read the same magazine they did. Sommer laughed again, but his voice was serious. I read everything I get my hands on, son. It's a good idea. You never know what stuff crooks have been reading. I think it's a good way to protect my job. Yep, agreed Jackson. I suppose you'd say these fellas here are in the toils of the law now simply because they read the wrong books. The end. Whew. Interesting little story. I don't know. What do you guys think? It's kind of fun. Whistle Stop Murder with Gunmaster. Whew. I think this might be the last one. There might be one more. I'm not sure. Yeah, really not sure. We'll see. Here we go. Okay. Have you ever sat through a movie filled with such suspense that it caused you to live and die right along with its hero? And made you wonder why you should even care so much? Well, here's one of those things. We think you will itch to help Gunmaster. We know, we did. Story and art by Dan Barry. Mrs. Pollack's board. Alright, how's the internet going? It's still good? Are we still alive? Ugh. Funny thing about whistle stop towns, only a few old freight trains stop here. Most trains just whistle as they're passing through. Midvale, elevation 235, population 5,000. Here's the 802. Ben's right on time as usual. Well, Ben, how was the run? Oh, same as ever. Nothing exciting ever happens in or out of Midvale. Okay, internet still good? Maybe? I don't know. Anyone let me know? Your internet's still good. Okay, thank you. Ben walks slowly up Midvale's quiet main street. Mrs. Pollack's boarding house. Wonder if that stranger's still up in the room. Him? He hasn't budged out of his room since he got here, Ben. I leave his meals in front of his door. Never even saw him check in, but he leaves his rent outside the room. He sure sounds mysterious, Mrs. Pollack. I think he's hiding from somebody. Well, gotta get back to work, Ben. Bye, Mrs. Pollack. I hope he brings some excitement into Midvale. We sure could use it. Say, neighbor, got a match? Eh? Oh, sure. Here you are. How have the trains been running today? Pretty regular? Right on the button. The Boston Express is coming through at 8:18 to the minute. Swell. Well, thanks for the light. Come on, Monk. Only 2 minutes to go. We'd better start up. Okay, Lefty. The streamlined Boston Express is roaring towards Midvale as Monk knocks at the door. Knock, knock. 8:18 as the streamliner tears through town. Its eerie whistle screams out, "Whee!" And across the tracks, another chilling sound blends in with the train whistle. No, no, it's me, Lefty, don't! Bang, bang, bang! Whee! Ah! Let's go, Monk. No one could have heard the shots with that whistle blowing. Yeah, pretty clever, the boss. New York City. The next morning, the telephone rings in the apartment of Dumas Poe, who is the gunmaster. Thank you for the lurk, Shark Chronic. Appreciate it. Ah, that bath felt good. Now for a hearty breakfast. Oh, the phone. Ring, 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 ring. The far clanger. Yes, this is Dumas Poe. Hello, Inspector Miller? What's new? What? Johnny Alb murdered? Where? How? Guess the Scanlon mob got him. Just got word from the Midvale police. Al must be hiding there. I hate to tell you this, Gunmaster. I know he was a close friend of yours. I like how everybody is just always smoking in this. It's great. Yes, okay. Get 2 tickets to Midvale, and I'll meet you in a half hour. We'll see what we can dig up. Several hours later, they arrive in Midvale. We better stop at the funeral parlor first, Inspector. Did anyone hear the shooting? No, that's another puzzle. The landlady was around all day and didn't hear a thing. She found the body early this morning when she took his meal up. There he is, Gunmaster. Pretty mess, eh? They must have used dum-dum bullets, blew his face apart. They identified him by the papers in his clothes. Ugh. Gross. Ugh, poor Johnny. I'll get the rats who did this. I'd like to speak to the landlady. But I did notice 2 strange men across the street yesterday. One kept looking at his watch. I noticed he wore it on his right hand. He had a mustache and was rather stout. Lefty Monroe, one of Scanlon's boys. Come on, Inspector. We can get back to the city and pick them up. Yes, it's a clear case. It looks like a closed case, Gunmaster. As soon as we get to New York, we can send out a call for Lefty and Scanlon and book them on suspicion till we dig up more evidence. Yeah, too bad about Johnny, though. Just when he was going straight and clearing up his name. Tell me, Gunmaster, how did Johnny ever get mixed up with a gang like that? It's a long story, Inspector. Johnny was never really a criminal. He just got into some trouble once and never got out of it. You see, we were close friends when we were kids. Had a lot of fun. Got into trouble like all kids. One day, we were playing street ball and we saw some kids running towards us. They looked like they were being chased by cops. Let's split up and beat it, guys. They're right behind us. Stop those kids. Stop them. Look out, Johnny. Here, kid, hold this. Present from me to you. Huh? There they are, officer. That's them. Okay, wise guy. I've got you. You're going to spend a lot of time learning that stealing doesn't pay. But I didn't. I'm being framed. You didn't do anything, officer. Those kids planted the package on him. Go on. He was one of them. He has my package. But when my story didn't do any good, Johnny was sentenced to 5 years in a reform school, and when he got out... Sorry, Johnny, there's no job here. You've got a record. How can a guy prove he's honest unless he gets a job? Give me a break, will ya? Ah, nuts. You're all the same. After weeks of hunting a job, Johnny ended up in a pool room hangout where he made new friends. Good game, Johnny. You learned fast. How's about a beer? It's on me. Okay, Lefty. Thanks a lot. You're all right in my books. Why don't you snap out of it, kid? I can get you a job. Honest work. Driving a truck down to Virginia. Good pay, too. Well, I could use the work, and it sounds good. Okay, Lefty. I'll go. Here's to it. Lefty took Johnny over to meet his new boss, Scanlon. Glad to meet you, Johnny. Stick with me and you'll do all right. I'm sure glad to get a break like this. I'll be in tomorrow, bright and early, for my first run. So long. Nice kid, Lefty. He'll fit in if he toes the line. Yeah, he's kind of cute, isn't he? Slap. Shut up, Mona, and stop interfering in what goes on here. My God. Ow! One of these days you're gonna do that once too often, Mona. Mona Joy doesn't like being pushed around. Jeez. Johnny drove a truck down to Virginia. He was due back at midnight, but blast it, 3 o'clock in the morning, and the truck isn't back. If that kid crossed us, he signed his own death warrant. Take it easy, Al. He'll come back. Oh, there's the door. Must be him now. Johnny, what happened? Yeah, Johnny. So you gave me honest work, huh? Just the break I was waiting for. Why, you dirty... You forgot to mention I was running bootleg rum to a dry state. We had a run-in with the law, and Monk ran out on me. I got to a freight train in time, but if those cops identify me, I'm through. I'm on parole now. I ought to kill you, Lefty. You talked me into this, but I'm not sticking around. Take it easy, kid. You can't walk out now. You know too much, and so do I. I know you're on parole. I could tip the cops you were in a bootleg run and they'd pull you in the quick. I'm in the clear, though. They never prove anything on Al Scanlon. So it's work or else, eh? You win. Fix my arm. I want to go out and get some fresh air. What a mess. Here I try to go straight and clear my name, and I wind up behind the 8-ball again. I've got to talk to someone. I think I'll go up to see Dumas Poe. Johnny Auld, how have you been? Say, what happened to your arm? Hello, Dumas. It's a long tale. Let me sit down and tell you. So that's how it all happened. Now, if I don't play ball with Scanlon, I go right back up the river. It sounds bad, Johnny, but there is a way to clear yourself. Stay with Scanlon, win his confidence, find out all you can about his rackets, then we can crack the gang in all the states. You'll be cleared, I'll see to that. And Gunmaster finishes telling the story to Inspector Miller in the train. That's the story, Inspector. You know the rest. Johnny got to be the number 2 man in the outfit with Mona Joy's help. He was about to turn over the record books when he disappeared. The kid certainly had tough breaks. As Gunmaster and Inspector Miller speak, their train approaches a tunnel, and the eerie whistle shrieks out its warning scream. Whee! At the same moment in the club car, 2 men draw their guns and get set to fire. Duck, Inspector, it's Lefty and Monk. They're using the train whistle to cover their shots. Bang, bang, bang. This is what they call a sleeper play coming around the sidelines. Ow, you! Ah, my hand! You made it easy for us, Lefty. Now we know why they didn't hear the shots that killed Johnny Auld. Ow! Let go of my arm. You can't hang the Auld murder on us. You got no proof. I don't need proof, Lefty. You're gonna confess. Spill it. Did Scanlon give you your orders? Where's he hiding? Pow! He just punched him in the face. Bam. Keep it up, Gunmaster. Anything short of murder is okay by me. Jeez. 15 minutes later. Come on, Lefty, let's have it. Okay, Mona Joy gave us orders to bump Johnny. She said they came from Al. That's all we wanted to know. We're coming into the station now. Let's get them up to headquarters. Here we are, boys. This is your last stop. Your boss will be joining you soon, too. Precinct number 89. We'll visit Mona Joy now. She'll know where to find Al Scanlon. A few minutes later at Mona's apartment. Well, what do you 2 want? Just you, beautiful. I'm Inspector Miller, homicide. Your friend Lefty and Monk are waiting for you at headquarters. I hear you called the signals on the Auld murder. No, it isn't true. The Scanlon did it. He planned the murder, timed it, and had me give the message to Lefty. But I warned Johnny of the plan, and he was going to leave his hideout. I don't know why he didn't. We were going to go straight and get married. We were ready to turn Al's record over to the police when Al found out. Your story would hold up better if you told us where we could find Al. I don't know. Honest. He disappeared a week ago, probably laying low because of the murder. I'd love to see him burn. I hate him. We'll have to hold you until we find him, Mona. You'll be a star witness at his trial. I'm willing to do anything to pay Al back for Johnny's death. That's the spirit, Mona. Johnny, no! It can't, but it is. Johnny Auld. In the flesh. What? He's still alive? Johnny, they didn't get you after all. Oh, I'm so happy. So am I. Hello, Dumas. I knew you'd be working on the case. Sorry to have worried you. It's good to see you, Johnny, but I don't understand. I know. Let me explain. If you recall, the face of the corpse they found in Midvale was unrecognizable. Well, sit, and I'll fill in the details. I'm sure Mona would like to hear them, too. Why, sure, Johnny, sure. You remember Dumas, how he planned to turn in Al's whole gang, so I won't go into that, but you didn't know that Mona and I were conspiring to get the books. I told her my plans, and she promised to help me. It's all set, Johnny. I've got the keys to the safe. Al won't be around the office tonight. You can get the books then. Wonderful, honey. Wish me luck. I got there all right, but as I was about to leave Scanlon's office, pretty clever, aren't you, Johnny? But you played right into our hands. Al, what, you mean Mona tipped you? A double cross? Why that? But Mona interrupts Johnny's story. No, no, it isn't true. He's lying. Don't believe it. Sit down, Mona. Let me finish. Go on, Johnny. Well, to get back to Al, he really had me on the spot, so I had to think fast. The record books came in handy. You haven't got me yet, Scanlon. Bang! He just threw the book at him. Nice. Oof. Sweet dreams, Al. I need time to duck out before you put your gunmen on my trail. Why you... Ow! Oh, Lefty and Monk coming. Mona must have told them to trail me in case something went wrong. I have to get by them. Scanlon will come in handy. I took the record books, revived Al, and made him accompany me at gunpoint. They threw the boys off the trail all right. They figured everything was okay. We got past Lefty and Monk, Al, but when they tell Mona, she'll know something is wrong. We're going into hiding until things cool off and I can get to the cops. You're calling the signals, Johnny, but if I don't get back, Mona's going to the cops first, so no itchy finger. We hopped a train and got off in Midvale. Then we holed up in Mrs. Pollock's place. I hid Al while I rented the room, so they thought there was only one of us. This is going to be our home for a while, Al. I'll lock you up in the closet when I sleep. We'll be right cozy together. I'll warn you, Johnny, you'll pay for this. We lived like that for a couple of days, had our meals sent up. I even slipped my rent out under the door so Mrs. Pollock wouldn't see Al. Mighty queer that, Mr. Auld. Here's his rent, right regular. What's this? A letter slipped in with the money. I'll mail it for the poor soul. Hey, Monk, listen to this. This letter from Al. He's being held by Johnny in this hick town. Slipped this letter out when he wasn't looking. Come on, we better tell Mona Al's got a whole plan written out. Let's go. Hey, how's it going? Hey, Diggler Dirk, how you doing? We're just doing some comic book reading here. Hope you're doing all right. This is a book from 1947, Real Clue Crime Stories. Lefty and Monk showed up in Midvale the next evening. That's the joint across the street, Monk. The escape car is waiting around the corner for Al. And it's all set. At 8:16, Al will crash out through the back window. Right, just about then, we start up the room. The train comes past this town at 8:18, and that's when we give Johnny the works. Will we hang around and meet Al? No, he wants to beat it right back to New York. But me and Mona got some other ideas. Like what? It's 8:15. Johnny's busy reading. Now's the time to dash for it. I saw the car parked right under the window. Al's acting kind of funny, and he's been watching the windows all evening. Holy cow, Lefty and Monk are across the street. Al must have got a message out to them somehow. Hey! No, you don't, Al. I still need you around. They're coming up now, Al, but you're going to answer the door and call them off. No, I told them to shoot the minute the door's open. They won't give me a chance. Help me, Johnny. I'll make it up to you. There's the knock. Call them off, Al. They won't shoot when they see you. No, I won't do it. Okay, they won't shoot at me, not their boss. They'll know something went wrong. Won't they, Johnny? Monk? Lefty, it's me, Al, don't shoot. But the eerie train whistle drowned out Al's voice, and when he opened the door, the shadow covered his face. Whee! Before he could warn him off, they won't hear him. No, it's me, Lefty, don't! Ah! Bang, bang, bang! Good golly, when they found out they killed Al, they'll be out for me with vengeance. I'll never reach the police. Ugh, look at his face. Nobody would recognize it. That gives me an idea. Johnny finishes telling his story to Gunmaster, Inspector Miller, and Mona. So I bleached his hair and left my papers on the body. That gave me time to get back to New York and check up on a few things. I found out that Lefty didn't act under Al's orders alone. What do you mean, Johnny? He said enough. What Johnny was going to tell is that I told Lefty to bump him, but I wasn't planning on letting Al get away. Lefty stayed around to get Al, but also he didn't show up. Johnny sneaked out the way back. Lefty and I were going to split Al's dough. I was tired of being shoved around by him. I used Johnny to help me get rid of him, but I didn't figure on Johnny making me so much trouble. But I've got Al's dough, and you've got his record books, so everybody's happy. I'm ducking out to Mexico, and you'll never catch up with me. If you come after me, I'll blow your brains out. God damn. Bang, 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 click. What? My gun's empty. But you won't get me. You won't get me. Oh no. Come on, Mona, you'll catch a code. We'll let you warm up in a cozy cell. Oh my goodness. Do you like comic books, Diggler Dirk? A little later. Hello, Gunmaster. We came as soon as we got your call. Here she is, officer. No, you can't make Mona Joy rot in any jail. I was born for laughs, good times, jewelry, and furs. I was born to be rich. Rich! Ha ha ha! I got all the money. I showed them who was boss. Yes, me, Mona Joy. Ha ha ha. You can't take me. I'm rich. I'm rich. Ha ha. She'll be fitted with a padded cell, I guess. That's how most of them end up. Well, we got the record books, Johnny. Now we can clean up the rest of Al's gang. Sometime later. I'd like to see the new special inspector. Go right in, Mr. Poe. He's expecting you. Hello, Johnny. Looks like you've got a soft deal since the DA saw how you rounded up that gang. Not so soft, Dumas. This job has a lot of hard work in it. I'm supposed to be the chief witness in the case against Lefty and Monk. J. Ald, investigator. Let's see. Yep, I'm at the comic shop every Wednesday for new books. Ooh, awesome. Cool. Able to stick by for the stream. Willing to give an ad-free experience. Huh. Poetic Justice. The guys who tried to kill you, and they're being tried for the murder of the guy who paid them. Yeah, they're holding them out at the 10th precinct. The one opposite the train depot. I wonder how they're behaving. Hello? 10th precinct? I want to check on Lefty Monroe and Monk Peters, yes? Oh, you mean the fellas that murdered Al Scanlon? We were about to call you now. They've been raving for days about the train whistles blowing all day in the depot across the street. They must have been batty. We just found them both in their cells. They hung themselves. Ugh. The end. Hey, thank you very much for the gift sub, Shock Chronic. I appreciate it. Very, very kind of you. Very kind. Thank you so much. You're awesome. Ooh. Ooh. Welcome. Enjoy these vintage comics. I'm glad you enjoy it. Alright, we got one little goofy comic here, I guess. Fetlock groans, the detective. Help! I've been robbed! Calm yourself, lady. I, Fetlock Groans, the detective, am at your service. I had a pie on this window sill. As soon as I turned my back, someone stole it. Show me how it happened. Now, have you another pie to demonstrate? Yes, here. I had to put it down like this. Very interesting, very. The thief probably took a bite like this. Crunch. Most likely he did, the cur. Then he undoubtedly ate it all like this. Well, are you going to get busy on the case? Not today, madam. This case will have to wait. That meal has made me too groggy to think. Adios. What a goofy little story. Ooh, check this out. Amazing new electronic jukebox bank. Magically lights up when coin is inserted. Here is the most remarkable bank ever offered to the public. Imagine getting a bank that looks and works like a real jukebox. It's great fun to insert coins from pennies up to quarters and watch the jukebox bank magically light up just like a real jukebox would. Made of colorful plastic and metal, beautifully hand-painted makes saving a pleasure. Send no money. Just send name and address, pay postman $1.69 plus a few cents postage on delivery. Okay, cool. It doesn't make any music though. It just lights up is all, I guess. Yeah. What's this one? The new all plastic harmonica and songbook. 200 songs, 10 easy lessons. It's precision made, patented, a harmonica that plays sweet mellow tones. If you can read, you can count, then you can learn to play this all new plastic harmonica. Play this harmonica immediately. You need know nothing about music to play this new harmonica. You'll marvel at its fine, rich, mellow tones. It's lightweight and unbreakable. Official harmonica of radio stations. You've probably heard this harmonica played on your radio station. Don't wait. Be more popular than ever. Play this new plastic harmonica quickly. Send no money. Try this new harmonica for 5 days. If you're not convinced that you can learn to play the harmonica easily, your full purchase price will be refunded. $1.49 for both. Send no money. Nice. Alright, so what is on the back page? Let's see. A lot of these old-time ads were willing to say anything in order to get you to buy the product. Oh yeah, for sure. You're really trying. This new easy way, hem stitches on your own sewing machine. No basting necessary. Or basting? 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 I don't know. My goodness, Jane. Looks like you're hem-stitching on your sewing machine. Why, yes, I'm doing some napkins and pillowcases. I do all my own hem-stitching now, instead of sending it out. Saves lots of money. That's wonderful. Let me see that attachment. It's the amazing new hem stitcher. Slips on instantly. Look, I made this rug on the machine with it too. And I got this wonderful embroidery guide with it. You'll be amazed at the time and money I save now. Say no more, Jane. Just tell me how to get the sewing miracle. That's easy. Just mail the coupon with your name and address, and if you send your order today, you get a wonderful scissors sharpener extra. No more paying someone else to do your hem stitching. No more drudgery making rugs by hand. This amazing invention does both, quickly, easily, fits any sewing machine in a jiffy, does all types of hem stitching possible. Two-piece crisscross inlaid circular hem stitching for pleats, does tucking, smocking, picoting too. Most amazing, with this wonderful invention, you'll make rugs and all kinds of designs from any material, make slippers, comforters, and auto rugs. And our generous 2-for-1 offer will include, with your hem stitcher and rug maker, the sensational new embroidery guide that you can attach on any sewing machine. No more painstaking hours of embroidering or braiding by hand. This ingenious attachment makes your sewing machine do it for you, beautifully, and in 1/10 the time. Also, rope silk, number 3 pearl cotton, Stutak braid, couching cord ribbon. Extra scissors sharpener. As a reward for promptness, we will include extra, and as a gift, wonderful scissors sharpener that will give you many years of service. London Hem Stitcher, Chicago, Illinois. Sweet. Alright, well that was... I don't think CODs are even a thing anymore. I have no idea. That was Real Clue Stories, issue number 4, from June 1947. Hope you guys enjoyed it. It's not too often that I get like a real old comic like that. I think I only have like 2 comics that are actually from the 1940s. So, it's kind of cool getting to read these. Alrighty. Yeah, cash on delivery. I don't know if it's a thing. I have no idea. Alright. Up next, let's go with, usually I start with Star Wars, but this time I started with, the old one. Alrighty. Well, this one's a little bit beat up, but whatever. It's fine, I guess. They don't need to be minty. Oh yeah, Star Wars time? Yeah. We're on 17 already. That's kind of hard to believe. Kind of crazy, but making good progress in Star Wars. Special issue: An Untold Tale of Luke Skywalker's Past. Crucible. It was starting to get kind of interesting in the previous issue, so we'll see where this goes. Now the amazing Energized Spider-Man. Energized to climb. Attach the spider clamp, turn on Spider-Man's energy belt, and his web climber goes into action. He climbs doors, walls, windows, fences automatically. Energized to pull, to lift. Spider-Man's energized web actually pulls and lifts objects heavier than his own weight. Energized to throw light. His spider light cuts a beam through the night, lighting the way to safety, or to find the enemy. Energized to power his spider-copter. As Spider-Man sits in his spider-copter, his power turns the rotor. He also sends out a powerful search beam. Spider-Man flies by night. Spider-Man is 13.5 inches tall. The energized Green Goblin, Spider-Man's enemy. He's energized to cut Spider-Man's web power. His Goblin Ray Gun, a formidable foe for energized Spider-Man. Green Goblin comes with Web Cutter and Goblin Ray Gun. Accessory Pack 2. A spider trap plus spider ray gun, rocket camera, just attached to Spider-Man's energy belt. 1978. Remco Toys. Heavier than his own weight, so I could lift an entire pallet of gold bricks? Yeah. I guess. I don't know. Alright. Long ago, in a galaxy far, far away, there exists a state of cosmic civil war. A brave alliance of underground freedom fighters has challenged the tyranny and oppression of the awesome galactic empire. This is their story. Stan Lee presents Star Wars, the greatest space fantasy of all, continuing the saga begun in the film by George Lucas, released by 20th Century Fox. Crucible! At the controls of the Millennium Falcon, Luke Skywalker, taking a lone watch, smiles. True, he once called this smuggling ship a piece of junk, but that was before fighting and serving aboard her. Exulting in the feel of her instruments, he finds his mind jogged back to another time, another place, across the galaxy reaches to his homeworld. Archie Goodwin, writer-editor, Chris Claremont. Wow, okay. Chris Claremont did the plot for this series? Oh my gosh. We got a Chris Claremont working on this. Maybe that's why the story got interesting all of a sudden. Chris Claremont is like the guy behind all of the bronze and Copper Age X-Men stuff. Like, he was the X-Man man for like 30 years. Claremont is legend. Yeah, he is. That's awesome. I didn't know he worked on Star Wars. Herb Trimpe, Alan Milgrom, guest artist, Rick Parker, letterer, Marie Severin, colorist, and Jim Shooter, consulting editor. This is November 1978 issue. Alright. Tatooine. Endless miles of sand-swept desert and rocky wasteland, baked by the glare of twin suns. A world seemingly too harsh, too barren to sustain life. Yet life is here, and in great variety. Almost as varied as the forms of death. Chonk! The Womp Rat pauses and sniffs the air. There are larger predators on Tatooine, but none any more cruel or swift, or instinctively aware that this life and death cycle is as unending as the rock and sand. Luke is just driving his land speeder with his gun, just, he's just Shooting womp rats in his land speeder. That's what he does for fun. Yow! Wait till the gang hears about this. Any of them might bullseye a womp rat from their skyhoppers, but I bet even Biggs never made a one-handed shot with an energy rifle while fighting a land speeder's controls. And the fact that in that fight, his banking land speeder almost flipped over doesn't even pierce young Luke Skywalker's enthusiasm. Shoot! Holes filling up from below. The pack is scattering underground. What the hell? There's a piece of hair in there. Alright. Proton grenades couldn't dig him out now. At least this one won't be gnawing any vaporator cables. Oh, I thought he was just shooting him for fun. Okay. And the bounty on him might be enough for those macro binoculars I've been wanting. Oh. Satisfied, Luke steers toward home, unaware that his every movement has been observed. These watchers, too, seem satisfied. Tatooine's life and death cycle extends no further. For now. Behold the interchangeable world of the Micronauts! Introducing the most incredible starship ever, the remote-controlled motorized battle cruiser! You can make 7 different space vehicles at one time or combine all 72 parts into the galaxy-spanning battle cruiser. Special, marvelous offer. Enjoying the amazing world of the Micronauts is more fun than a barrel of space monkeys. But just because we love you, we'll send you 2 free Marvel comics when you cut out and send us the upper left corner of the battlecruiser box, which includes the number 71054 on the front panel. Woo! It might not have anything to do with the comic, but I still think that Jar Jar Binks is a Sith. As the Bantha Raiders have vanished into the wilds of the hostile Junland Wastes, by the time the Landspeeder reaches the main building of the Lars Moisture Farm, Uncle Owen, Aunt Beru, I'm home! Late, and without the rebuilt parts for our Treadwell, even though you took all day. I tried giving Fixer a hand, Uncle Owen, but with his backlog, he says it'll be a week before... Without that droid, we can't install those new vaporators. I know, Uncle Owen, and I kind of wondered. Biggs Darklighter's leaving soon for the academy, and tomorrow the gang's planning a sort of farewell celebration until the droid's working. I can't do much, so it'll be an excuse to idle away more time, Luke. A water farmer can't... Owen, Biggs is Luke's best friend. He'll be gone a year or more. You let a brother leave without saying goodbye. Haven't you wished... Enough, Beru. You can go, young man, but don't ask for anything else until we have a functioning Treadwell. And if any vaporators break down... Oh, they won't, sir. I promise. We get to see more of Luke's home life. Kind of neat. Gee, I never figured Uncle Owen would give in. What happened between him and my father? Nothing really, Luke. Perhaps Owen just depended too much on your father staying with him on the farm. Like he does now with me. Whenever I mention going to the academy like Biggs, he cares for you, Luke, in his own gruff way. Guess I know that, and all his effort on the farm is to build something for us all. Makes me feel like a traitor to even think about leaving Aunt Beru. Still, some crazy part of me keeps feeling like there should be more. Maybe I'm just afraid to grow up, to face responsibility like Uncle Owen. What else could it be? To her regret, Beru Lars' only answers is silence. Tatooine's dual sunset passes and night comes to the isolated farm, where in the complex's garage Luke completes a tune-up. There, the old Skyhopper's ready and raring. Let me just check the controls last time. Since I didn't mention to Uncle Owen that the celebration is at Beggar's Canyon, everything's gotta be tip-top. I don't want to bring back a wreck. It doesn't occur to Luke that he might not come back from a wreck. He is young. His own mortality seems a distant thing, and his thoughts are racing elsewhere. He squints his eyes, grips the controls, and ceases to be Luke Skywalker, Tatooine farm boy. In his mind's dreaming eye, he is Commander Luke Skywalker, leading a flight of starfighters into combat. Now the enemy destroyer looms before him, a raider, a slaver, trying to escape with its living cargo. Trying and failing. Skywalker again. He's the one who stopped us in the Styx system. That's his last success. He may have boarded us swiftly, but he's going to die just as fast. But in this blaster duel, deadly skill, not talk, determines the winner. And when quarters are too close for shooting, a fist can be deadly too, as the slave ship captain soon learns. Then it is over, except for a lovely hostage's gratitude, and the promise of even greater adventures to come. It's just Luke's daydream. Oh, it didn't die. Oh no, do we have stream trouble? Ugh. Oh, it didn't die? Okay. Alright. Marvel Comics Group checklist. Yeah, okay. Alright, I've already read most of these comics. Or not most of these ads here, so I'm just gonna continue. You thought Treem almost died? Well, it might. Another day. Luke! Luke! Have you gone deaf? Or fallen asleep? I've been yelling for the last 5 minutes. I'm shutting down the external power. Sorry, Uncle Owen. I guess I got wrapped up in my work. If you'd put as much dedication into maintaining our vaporators, we'd have the richest moisture farm on the planet. I'm sure gonna try. Uncle Owen, you'll see after tomorrow. Oh. Beggar's Canyon. Any adult in Tatooine will tell you to avoid this twisting, mile-deep testament to the power of erosion. Any teenager will tell you it's the only place on a dull backwater world to find a few thrills. If you don't mind risking the family skyhopper and maybe your own neck. Hey, Biggs, over here. I see you waggling your wings, hotshot. Glad you could make it. Man, we actually get to see some, more backstory for Biggs. That's cool. But just because this is the last get-together of the two shooting stars, don't expect any breaks when the run begins. Luke doesn't, and it seems none will be necessary as the starting signal is given. He power dives for the yawning canyon mouth to grab the lead into the snaking 2-mile stretch of sheer walled nightmare. At its far end lies the area's largest womp rat burrow for a good reason. The only shooting approach is through the labyrinth that is Beggar's Canyon, where each bend, each turn is more impossible than the last, and maneuvering room may be determined. But how many coats of paint maneuvering room may be determined by how many coats of paint your hopper has. Skywalker and Darklighter keep leapfrogging for first place. On these curves, the only spot that leaves a runner-up is against the rocks, or out. It is a choice made by more and more participants, as each new turn proves narrower, until... Quick, acquire this quintet, and fill your quality quota. Here's 5 new Mighty Marvel specials. The Hulk, nuff said, soft cover, hardcover. The Silver Surfer, reuniting the great team of Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. All new, all great, all Marvel. Mighty Marvel Comics Calendar, 1979. Spidey Super Stories with everyone's favorite Spider-Man. Woof. Join SLC for super prizes. Only 2 ships remain. Gangway, Hotshot, I'm making my move. Just like I figured, Biggs old buddy. Just a hair too early. There's still time for me to jump you before the last turn, and no room for you to overtake me after that. But as Luke starts... Been a while since you heard Jack Kirby's name? Really? Good old King Kirby. What the? He's breaking with his retros! Biggs, you tricky son of a gun. I've got no choice. Pull up or collide. Then Darklighter's Skyhopper is around the turn. Ground charge missiles scoring on Womp Rats. before his ship steers upward to escape stone-cold disaster by millimeters. Way to go, Biggs. I wouldn't have dared to try what you did. Guess that's why you're headed for the academy, and I'll probably stay on the moisture farm. The thought troubles Luke for a moment, but it's soon forgotten in the revelry that follows every canyon run. Look sharp, Cammy. Here they come, 2 shooting stars. That can't be stopped. That's what we always say, Deke. And I didn't see anyone else today, proving us wrong. The banter is long, loud, and mostly good-natured, leaving any hard feelings to some local Jawas, annoyed that there are no wrecks to scavenge. So it goes until, hey, speeder's on fire, gonna crash, let's get to it fast. And, Biggs, he's a militia scout. Easy, mister, you're okay now. No, gotta warn everybody. Big trouble. Big trouble in Little Tatooine. Heel, Super Dogs! It's the infamous Milk Duds Super Duds sweepstakes. Okay, I did read this previously. It's a really cool contest. I'll just read the grand prize winner thing here. If you should be the first prize winner, you and your family, limit of 4 people, will be flown to New York City and back. You'll stay for 3 days and 2 nights, all expenses paid. You'll be taken on a personal tour of the Marvel Comics office, where an artist will draw your image into an upcoming issue of your favorite Marvel comic. You'll be part of the action in a famous superhero adventure. You'll be allotted time for such frivolous activities as sightseeing, and when your comic adventure is published, you'll get 15 copies to bestow upon your family and fraudulent friends. They'll be awestruck to know a famous person like you. That's like the coolest contest award that I think just about you could ever have. So cool. Okay, we got the Star Wars back, so I'll read those once we get to the end here. Subscribe to Pizzazz. Alright. Tusken Raiders on the rampage. A lot of them. Mad as rock hornets. A supply caravan accidentally polluted one of their sacred wells. What kind of fool would do that? Fools smuggling, blasters, sand people, got the smugglers and the guns. They're well armed and angry enough to hit Anchorhead and any farms in between. They weren't far behind me, so... Everyone to cover, they're here! Fatum! Wendy, any luck with the communicator? Too much atmospheric interference. Gotta wait till the suns are lower. By that time, the main party could be in Anchorhead. The gang's handling this fine, Luke. You game to try one of the hoppers? When my uncle's place is one of those in danger, try and stop me. I don't think the Sand People will need any help. Okay. And one in particular seems to have anticipated this very move. Biggs! Blast them and their ability to pop up out of nowhere. Move away from me, Luke. So instead of swinging that Gatterifi he'll be forced to throw... Ugh! No! Bracow! Good shooting, Hotshot. He only got my shoulder. But from the way I feel, that point may have been dipped in sandbat venom. Hang on, Biggs. I'll have you to a Metadroid before that stuff can do any damage. I'm boosting us straight up and out of here. No, Luke, stay low. They're better armed than usual, remember? Try for altitude and we're a sitting duck for their long-range blasters. You're going to have to stay down, go through the mountains, instead of over them. Through? Biggs, there's no way except... Yeah, Diablo cut. No one's ever done it before, probably for the good reason that it's impossible. But if we take time to go around the long way, some farms and part of Anchorhead may not be waiting. You haven't mentioned yourself, Biggs, that the poison in your system could take effect before that long trip's done. Okay, Mr. Darklighter, Diablo cut it is. Somebody's got to be first. Why not us? Only trouble is, up till now I've been a moisture farmer who plays around with a skyhopper and daydreams about being a star pilot. This is going to take far more than that. There's no reason to believe I've got it. Oh, amazing new power builder. Increases strength, energy, vitality. Generates results in only minutes per day. Alright. Then, there's no more time to think. As the vulnerable little craft sails into the heart of Diablo Cut. Here, there can be no hesitation. Everything rides on reaction and instinct. Boy and Skyhopper must become as one, or lose all. Luke, I must be getting crazy to get you into this. It can't be done. Biggs faints, but if Luke has heard his delirious whisper, it doesn't show. As he pushes steadily on into the erosion-carved chaos of the cut, finally soaring into cavern darkness. But at its end is light. Light in the promise of open sky above us, Biggs. We're through. Except for a Tusken Raider scouting party. Surprise favors the Skyhoppers. In the Sand People's memories, no machine has ever roared out of the Diablo Cut. Still, we're catching some of those shots in the afterburner. She's bound to catch fire. And as the Lars Moisture Farm looms on the horizon, the flames are there. If I can plow her into the sand, maybe, just maybe, we won't explode. Kawump! Luke, have you gone mad, young man? Get a med pack for Biggs, Uncle Owen, and have Aunt Beru call out the local militia fast. And suddenly, Luke Skywalker is very tired. Twilight. It is over with the militia's arrival. The Tusken Raiders are swiftly turned back into the Junlin wastes. Luke stands alone, thinking of Diablo Cut, the way he somehow reached the deep within himself there and did the impossible. It was almost like some kind of test, and whatever else comes out of today, I feel like I passed it. And with that passing, Luke knows he can never be a farmer. He has briefly touched the stuff of his dreams and found them possible. Some way, somehow, knows he must reach out again. Oh, okay, we got pages stuck together. Ugh. 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 Can I... Okay. Well, that's not good. Might have to get like a razor or something and kind of break that. I don't know. Can I... Well, thankfully it's not a page that's important to the story. Alright. Yeah, I might have to just get a razor or something. Basically, it's like there's a page with an ad, and then there's the bullpen bulletins, so don't rip it, yeah. And of course he will. Okay, reluctantly at first, as events beyond his home planet conspire to sweep him into the greatest adventure of all. An adventure which reaches a chilling height with the Battle of the Death Star. Look, it's like the entire movie, the first movie, just in one montage here. Kind of neat. But one which still continues even now, continues and grows. Hey kid, don't turn space happy on me. Oh, Han. No problem, I was just thinking. Pretty deep stuff, it looked like. Sorry, I'm late relieving you. Couldn't resist grabbing a few extra winks. You must be screaming to get clear of that seat. Hours of the control in deep space can be pretty boring. Maybe someday, Han, maybe in years, but right now I'm exactly where I want to be. That was a pretty good issue, I'd say. I like that. I thought that was pretty cool. Actually had kind of a Star Wars feel to it, unlike some of the previous issues that have been just weird goofiness. Next issue, The Hand of the Empire. Awesome. Cool. That was Star Wars issue number 17. I should probably buy a nicer copy of this one. I don't know. I think they're pretty cheap. It's not like it's a special issue or anything. Let's find the Star Words. Let's find Star Words. Where are you? Let's read those. There it is. Due to a rather long period without a letters column, we've been way behind on our mail. Consequently, we're going to be covering a pretty wide spectrum this time around, ranging from issue number 11 onward. Dear Marvel, yesterday I bought Star Wars number 11. Due to other things, like finding out what happened to Captain America in issue number 221, I didn't get to read it until today. Wow! Star Search was the best comic art-wise and story-wise of the Star Wars series to date. I have only one bad question. Why do you have 7 pages of ads for other comics? Well, getting back to the subject, I have 2 suggestions. Keep Carmine Infantino as a regular artist because his art fits like Darth Vader's glove. And speaking of the old Dark Lord of the Sith, what happened to him? It's been a whole 5 long issues without him. And it's been another 6 even longer ones since then, Ray. However, the Darth Vaderless drought is about to end. In fact, events set in motion in next month's story will lead to an appearance by everyone's favorite fallen Jedi. We won't say exactly when or how because we're still doping out some of the details, but return he will, and soon. This might be a good spot to give a little credit to a lady who's vitally helpful in assisting us in determining directions the Star Wars comic will take. Namely, the Star Wars Corporation's Director of Publications, Carol Tittleman. One of her biggest problems, and ours, is trying to see to it that nothing is done that will contradict or invalidate things planned for the second Star Wars movie. Since the sequel's screenplay is still being kept secret, understandable when you consider the number of TV and film ripoffs already in the works, this can get a little tricky. So if we seem to move slowly on presenting some aspects of Star Wars themes or characters, it's because both Carol and we want to make sure that we're doing it right. As for those ads you mentioned, Raymond, we figure the Star Wars comic reaches a lot of readers unfamiliar with the rest of our line, though a Captain America buff like yourself may find that hard to believe. So we try to get in as many tantalizing peeks at our other titles as possible to bring enlightenment and enjoyment to all those who haven't fully sampled the Marvel way. Fallen Jedi, Qui-Gon is coming back to murder more sand people while Padme randomly dies? Yes. Yes, everyone's favorite Fallen Jedi. Dear Marvel, I'm really enjoying what you're doing with the Star Wars comics. The writing is great and the artwork is superb. I think it's one of your best titles with the exception of X-Men. Anyway, there's one complaint I keep hearing about Star Wars, and that's the absence of blacks and other non-white humans. I agree that's one major fault. I don't know if it was intentional. I kind of doubt it. I think it was just a big mistake. It was also apparent in Logan's Run, but you corrected that in the comic version. Why don't you do the same in Star Wars? Several other letters have mentioned this, Julie. It seems to us you may be overlooking the fact that Star Wars does take place a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. What may hold true about the makeup of society in Earth's future, like Logan's Run, or even Earth's mythical past, as in Conan the Barbarian, wouldn't necessarily apply in a Star Wars distant galaxy. Which isn't to say you'll never see a non-Caucasian in the Star Wars movies or comics. Just bear in mind that both the first film and our comics have only touched on a few small parts of a very large galaxy. There are worlds and characters of every description just waiting to be introduced to you. Stick with us and see for yourself. Dear creators, to err is human, and if we're not anything else, we are human. The error? In Doom World, on page 15, we see the huge floating city ship and 2 distinct moons in the background. Because other stars are also visible, one would assume it is night. Because if it were day, you simply couldn't see them. Fine, but on page 31, we see Drexel as it appears in space, with Crimson Jack's ship approaching it from the night side. But where are the moons? Hiding behind the word balloon? Not a chance. And don't tell me they're on the far side of the planet, because then in panel 15, we wouldn't have seen the huge sun as a backdrop instead of the stars. Unless you can convince me the stars are in between the sun and Drexel. Before you label me just another nitpicker looking for a no prize, let me just add that Terry Austin is nothing short of fantastic. The dumb moons were probably put in to balance the panel. Hope you can figure a way to answer this letter. Gee, we hope so too, Frank. That's their response. Okay. Dear Archie, Star Wars number 14 is great. Carmine Infantino and Terry Austin's artwork is perfect. The sound of Armageddon captures the movie saga. It's high time Princess Leia stopped playing the pawn role and the team got back together again. The subplot is getting better and better too, in their own villainous way. The villains seem very interesting. I hope you will tell something from the hero's background so that each issue the characters are more developed in every way. The battle scene in this issue is a classic. I hope there's a Star Wars annual in the future. Summer is traditionally annual time, Chuck, and since we're still straining against our regular monthly schedule, we thought it most prudent not to attempt an additional book for then, but we'll speak to the powers that be. Could be something might be worked out in the way of a special for the Christmas season. As for tales involving the characters' pasts, how about this issue, plotted by Chris Claremont, writer of X-Men and Miss Marvel, and guest drawn by Herb Trimpe, artist on Godzilla, and our upcoming new title, The Shogun Warriors. Dear Marvelites, we would like to congratulate you on your Star Wars comic book. It's really fantastic. One criticism, though, my associates and I are curious to know if your new colorist, Janice Cohen, has seen the film. Our complaint is nothing major, but why does Han Solo have blue eyes? Harrison Ford, the man who's Han Solo in disguise, has big brown eyes. Please pass this little tidbit of information on to Miss Cohen. The Star Warriors, a private group, Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Consider it passed, group, and we're sorry space didn't permit our listing all 18 names affixed to your original letter. In fairness to Jan, a very conscientious and consistently creative contributor to the book, it should be pointed out that while she did see the movie, it was quite a bit before she had any idea she'd be coloring the comic. And in the color photos we use as reference, Han's eyes tend to come off as dark, with the actual color a bit hard to pinpoint. Editor Archie Goodwin okayed making them blue, which is easier for our engravers to handle. Obviously, Goodwin is the real culprit in this matter. Check us in another 30 days. If Han's eyes aren't brown by then sick your Wookiees on him. Alright. That's fun. The Star Wars comics are always fun. I enjoy them probably the most of all the stuff that I've been reading on here. Okay, let's see. 2 hours. What time is it? Is it 5:30? Oh yeah. Looks like it is. Alright. Okay. Well, I guess up next is Ghost Rider then. How's the internet doing? Still okay? This one's real rough shape. There's a big gouge taken out of the front. Oh well, as long as it's complete and readable. Ghost Rider. Is he alive or dead? They call him Roulette, the man who gambles with death. It's still alive. Alright, cool. Okay. Whoa. Yeah, that's a big chunk just torn right out of it there. Ugh. Don't be half a man. Alright. The Ghost Rider. Marv Wolfman. Plot. Doug Munch, writer. Jim Mooney, artist. Sal Trapani, inker. Tom Ors, letterer. P. Goldberg, colorist. And Roy Thomas, editor. And Vegas writhes in flame. Ride, Blaze, ride. But no matter how fast or how far you ride, know that all paths lead to doom. Compliments of the leering death pawn called Roulette. When Roulette's wheel of death comes to a stop, don't put any bets on it, demon filth. I'll rip a trail straight through hell to save Rocky. April 1974. Alright, here we go. But before we follow Johnny Blaze down that brimstone-paved circuit, let's pause to contemplate a stark face stuffed with fear. You overheard too much, girlie. Roxanne Simpson's face. And I don't care who you are. No one jeopardizes Duke Jensen's operations. Not unless they Want their brains seeded with bullets like the Crooked Operations, as we learned last issue. Boss! You fire that gun and we're dead. The Attorney General's sick the cops on us. They're swarming all over this neighborhood. We're finished. Oh, thank God. Finished, Slifer? Finished merely because I can't fire this gun? Finished when I can change into this? Oh my God, this guy's got special powers. No, Slifer, we are hardly finished while I control Hell's sorcery. Swoop. While I'm able to harness it to exploit it, making us both invincible. But on the other hand, our charming Miss Simpson here is most decidedly finished. What are you doing? Providing you with a licking caress of hellfire, my dear, since your disgusting purity would undoubtedly deny you its touch in the afterlife. Farewell. Then, as the crackling whine of hungry flames buzzes in Rocky Simpson's ears, master, demon, and minion alike fade from view. They're demons? Whoa. As we fade to night, sliced by the roaring throb of an engine in desperate heat. Gotta find Rocky fast, no telling what she'll do after catching me in Linda Littletree's arms, which caused the distraught Miss Simpson to jump to wrong conclusions last issue. 1 second. Night, and my head like a blunt spike's being driven through it. Boys, girls, now you can ride bicycle motocross. I'll make you a master of karate. Okay, we read that one. There must be a better way to make a living. Yeah, I think I've read most of these. Shimmering bursts of fire sprout from Johnny Blaze's contorted face, and the air shrivels with acrid stench. That agonized face sears and burns away, leaving nothing but a naked skull wrapped in a whipping comet of flame. The macabre visage of the night-streaking Ghost Rider. Halt, Rider! Who dares command me? Roulette dares. Roulette, the demon of Las Vegas. The demon of Las Vegas. That's great. Shiz! Arr! Woof! Scream! The Curse of the Golden Skull. Conan's greatest now. That firebolt hurt bad. And since there's not much that can hurt the Ghost Rider, I'd better split until I can dope out this character's angle. Sliz, sliz, sliz. Can't weave through these molten hailstones forever, so let's just hope the termites haven't gotten to that plank propped against the wall. A hand gloved in jet leather tenses around the throttle, wrenches it open, and the flame-streaming cycle spurts forward with a strident squeal. Rock! Surges up the buckling plank at hellish speed, vaulting the wall with feet to spare, and in a splash of liquid fire slams to the ground with a force that shocks both machine and rider. But this is no ordinary rider. It is rather one who impossibly manages to retain control of his shuddering cycle. Thud! Control of the scudding Vegas skies, however, is maintained by another. That image, it's Rocky, and she's tied helpless in a burning room. More than helpless, Flame Rider, she's doomed. For if you try to save her, this entire city will burn in a massive pyre of its own making. That roulette swears to you on the name of Almighty Satan. This roulette character can read my thoughts, and that vow of his cinches it. I'm up against one who's in league with Satan. Whoa, any 15 records for only $1.97? These ain't records. These are 8 tracks. Humble Pie, Eat It. The Partridge Family. Vicky Carr. Jerry Lee Lewis. Melanie. Moody Blues. Bobby Goldsboro. Donny Osmond. Elton John. I like Elton John. Ramsey Lewis. Earth, Wind, and Fire. Cat Stevens, Neil Diamond. Charlie McCoy, George Jones. Got any Slim Whitman in here? Only you. Alright, let's go. Which means his threats, nothing to sneeze at. So who do I sacrifice? Rocky or the whole city of Las Vegas? Well, y'all, look at that. What will these disgusting hoodlums come up with next? A menace to the public streets, if you ask me. The whole lot of them ought to be lined up against the wall and shot. Wasn't such a difficult choice after all. Hang Vegas. Rocky, babe, here I come. Screw Vegas. Oh my gosh. Savagely kicking his cycle to its berserk limit, the Ghost Rider roars down the Vegas streets in a direct and deliberate course. A hell-bent, unswerving course, as though he knows exactly where his destination lies, as though some intangible guiding bond closes the gap between himself and the girl he loves. Brack! While several neon-lit blocks away, a hideous creature, spawned in nightmare, leans from a scorched hole in the sky. Snuffering and giggling with foul delight, the demon joyously hurls sizzling bolts of destruction groundward. The Flame Rider is chosen selfishly, as I knew he would. Without the girl's love, his existence would be forfeit to Lord Satan. And since the Rider is chosen selfishly, I now have Satan's approval to wreak my vengeance on this hated city. Wouldn't Satan be like, into Las Vegas? Be like, yeah, Las Vegas is cool. Yeah, whatever. Inside the assaulted casino, pandemonium shrieks in 1,000 hoarse voices as greedy flame consumes everything in its raging path. Horrified diners and gamblers alike scramble and scurry like panic animals, each striving to outrace the other to clogged exits. Out of the way! Out of my way! Many of them never make it. Karoom! Aw, he blew up the Sands. That sucks. I like the Sands. Sands is gone. I mean, they blew it up in real life too. And this pleases the mad-eyed roulette to no end. His hideous visage fills the sky above, mushrooming chaos and carnage, and he watches avidly as the immense edifice crumbles and folds into the gutting conflagration. Oh, alright. More grit ads. But it's a different flame-ravaged structure which concerns the thundering Ghost Rider. The throttle will twist no further, so he jerks his cycle's front wheel up and blasts through the fire-weakened wall, scooping a most astonished Roxanne Simpson from the flame's sucking grasp. Boom. I like the art in here. It's pretty cool. Before pile driving through the opposite wall to freedom, Johnny, I'd begun to think... There's no time for thinking, Rocky. There's only time to say... goodbye.
Moo, moo, moo. Moo, moo, moo. Moo. Moo, 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 moo. Moo, 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 moo. Moo!
Hello. But Johnny, where are you going? To save a city, whether it deserves it or not. Stay loose, Rocky. But racing back to the site of his confrontation with Roulette, the Ghost Rider discovers that it's already begun. Roulette is out to devastate this city, and he's had a good start. Must have been hundreds of innocent mortals in that casino. Hear me, Satan! I don't know what Roulette's motivation is, but it's no accident I'm involved. This is yet another trial you're putting me through, and for that I promise you someday we shall meet, and on that day hell will crumble! And the note is signed Roulette. Yeah, it says 6 of us are to die, along with our casinos, listing each of us by name. And don't forget Hinstrom already died in that casino fire. That leaves 5 of us. I don't care. This note is a threat, and I don't tolerate threats. But listen, Frank, this might be serious. Witnesses at that fire claim there was a flaming monster man in the sky who called himself Roulette. Yeah, and there's some chick, Simpson, I think her name is, who says she was held captive by some guy who changed into a demon. Jensen was his name. Jensen? Yeah, know him? I know him. We all do. He was the big shot stock car promoter who thought he could luck out big in my casino. But all he did was lose. In a perfect streak. When he'd overplayed his stakes and the 20 thou in credit I extended him, I told one of my boys to show him the door. Come on, pal, game's over for you. What's the meaning of this? You can't do this to me, not without a chance to recoup my losses. When he got too feisty about it, Bernie had to bring him to the back, to us. Remember him now, the one whose bank account turned up nothing but goose eggs? It was not wise to lie about the state of your finances, Mr. Jensen. So he had Skids and Bernie take him out for a ride. Into the desert where nobody would be bothered by the noise. And Bernie swears they dumped him into the quarry, ploosh, with a belly full of lead ulcers. So if this roulette trick really is Jensen, he's a spook, alright. Alright, we'll come back to the ghostwriters. I'm sick and tired of my job. Don't forget, dear, we've got a date for the movies with Jim and Helen tonight. Oh, honey, I'm Bush, that lousy job of mine. Please, dear. Besides, we don't get out that often. Oh, all right. Say, Jim and Helen have a nice place here. Wonder where he gets the money. Oh, Jim is in electronics now. You seem mighty happy in electronics, Jim. Level with me. How'd you break in? Easier than you might think. With CIE training, I learned everything I needed right at home in my spare time. How about you? Want a great job in electronics, too? Get full facts and CIE's 2 free books. Speaking of whom, not again. Don't you ever get tired of that flaming circle in the sky bit? Just while you may, writer, but know this, 1 is dead, and 5 more shall follow despite your ludicrous attempts to intervene. Choke on it, you dime store goblin reject. I'm after you, Roulette. When I catch you, I'll burn the ugly right off your face. Splash. Just as easily as I burn your carnival show image from the sky. Finding him won't exactly be difficult. He radiates evil, and that scent of decay burns my nostrils. And since it's getting worse, I must be going in the right direction. How could they know so fast that I was using slugs in that slot machine? Even though his spectral trail leads way out into this desolate stretch of desert, those emanations are getting heavy. So heavy, it's hard to... To one who has known the darksome pits of hell itself, who has confronted foes stalking in the guise of perverted miracles, who himself experiences the nightly transformation into a supernatural being defying all understanding, and who has gone so far as to spit in Satan's eye. There are few things indeed capable of eliciting awe, but the ghostwriter looks upon this elaborate structure, hovering above the russet sand, looks upon the domes and spires and crenellated battlements, the vaulted archways and portals, the demoniac configuration of emblematic sentinels, the whirring spinning wheel of flame, which supports the whole tremendous mass, and he feels profound awe. Words come to him, heard or read long ago. It was a miracle of sick desire, a gloomy horror dome with caves of fire, and he is awed even more by the fantastic megalomania which must obsess this demon called Roulette. Well, that's quite a description there. Oh, too skinny? Put on weight. And therefore, Roulette's unequivocal defeat obsesses the ghostwriter. If I know Satan, he's invested Roulette with the power to make this force shield impervious to any natural assault. So here's where I turn on the supernatural heat and scorch my way through. Shwoom! Alright, lunatic, what's the story? What have you got against those 6 men in Vegas? 5 men now, Flame Rider. Remember that 1 has already been destroyed. And what I have against them is my death. They murdered me, those 6 mortals. They had me shot, and their hired guns cast my bleeding form into the quarry to drown. But my death was short-lived, as befitted Lord Satan's wont. Arise, pitiful mortal. The Lord of depravity commands it. I offer you continued life and the means to vengeance upon your murderers. Satanic power beyond comprehension in exchange for laying waste to your soul. It is an offer I will not permit you to refuse. It was glorious. No bullets ruptured my flesh. I no longer bled. The water was gone from my lungs, and I lived. Now that Satan does nothing removed from a selfish design, in the course of your vendetta you will aid me against another, earthbound, non-mortal, and as my pawn you will destroy him for me. Now go, Duke Jensen, and obey your fate. So you see, Flame Rider, it is clear to me that you are the one to whom Satan alluded. Thus, I will destroy you now. Bull! Alrighty. Focus. A most moving display, Flame Rider, but did you truly believe your power superior to mine? You are a renegade from hell, drawing your power through Satan's every resistance. While I am one of the Netherworld's most loyal charges, aided and encouraged by Lord Satan. Master, I have downed your hated enemy. You are the power and the source, and I am but your humble vessel. I beseech you, grant me the additional strength to completely vanquish your foe, to deliver his broken form unto you for eternity. Whoa. Stunned, the Ghost Rider's consciousness struggles through the queasy vertigo of agony, and dimly he hears Roulette's fervent plea. And more he hears distant sounds spawned in hell, and ominous thunder scraping the heavens. The sound of Satan's reply. You have done well, Duke Jensen, and for that I shall reward you, by granting your request for additional power. Only one chance if I can pinpoint him in a crossfire. Desperately, the Ghost Rider unleashes every last vestige of power he controls, and two streams of sizzling hellfire converge on the demon Roulette. Converge and build to critical intensity to a searing overload, which cannot possibly be contained by any vessel, human or otherwise. And so Roulette implodes, shockingly. The acrid stench of brimstone permeates this insane supernatural Xanadu in the desert sky. And when the foul, hellish gases dissipate, all that remains is the somber figure of a shaken Ghost Rider, and the ashes of one who has been destroyed by more than fate. Next, the Zodiac Bandit strikes. There you go. That was quite a story. Alright, let's find the Ghost Riders. Here we go. Dear Gary, in general, Ghost Rider's getting better every night, but he needs a new locale, now that his Indian girlfriend's free to leave. So take him to India, especially Talbot Mundy's India of the book, Alm the Secret of Aber Valley, where he can fight devil spawn forces and meet H. Rider Haggard type villainesses and explore lost worlds. He would stand out as much more unique in such a setting, rather than appearing just another hot-rodding cyclist in the Southwest. Nags. Linda can see Johnny's Cycle of Fire in Ghost Rider number 3, but claims she can't ride it because she's lost her satanic powers. Baloney! She has to be able to see and ride it. I can't picture you're suddenly having a guy riding a non-visible cycle through the streets. There are too many race-to-the-death scenes. This mag's about Ghost Rider, not Ghost Cycle. At the end of Ghost Rider number 3, the Hell's Angel type gets zapped by Johnny and hits an oil tanker. Unnecessary and crude, even to give Johnny self-resimilatory thoughts for future issues. In the same vein, why did Ghost Rider have to fall in the middle of the freeway on page 16, causing multiple crashes, so the cops can gun for him from now on? Too much smash for too little reason. You already got the police after him. Oh, boy. Sorry. On page 6, Linda shows Ghost Rider how to conjure up a cycle. Right arm full extended, left arm cocked at the elbow. So why is Ghost Rider doing the reverse? This is too obvious. Next, he'll be praying to a cross of David, catty-cornered on an altar of vibranium. How come when Johnny Blaze awakes in the hospital, he doesn't tell someone about Linda's being stranded in the desert as he promised her he would? Thanks for a good mag, though. Let's try to answer your letter point by point. Okay, Dennis, here goes. First, we think it might be a little difficult to justify Johnny Blaze suddenly departing for India. He's never been there before that we know of. He's not inclined toward Eastern mysticism, since he's got his hands full with the Western devil. He didn't even perform at the Bangladesh concert. But we'll see if not India, perhaps some other exotic land awaits up the highway. Secondly, we never claimed Johnny's fire cycle was invisible. Linda couldn't ride it simply because it was a magical creation and so could only be ridden by someone with magical powers, like Ghost Rider. On the matter of 2 abundant races to the death, do the rest of you out there in Marvel Land agree? Regarding all the auto smash-ups in Ghost Rider number 3, we may have to admit you're right. And yet, you have to admit they were pretty fun to look at in a perverse sort of way. Ghost Rider is, however you slice it, a menace to the highway navigation. As such, whether he likes it or not, he doesn't, he's going to get involved in crashes of that sort. You have to remember that Ghost Rider is a sort of paper and ink demolition derby. We didn't read any particular symbolism into the way Ghost Rider conjured up that cycle. Chances are, for that particular spell, it just didn't matter which arm was in which position. Yeah, we know that's pretty lame, so how about the absolute truth? Most likely, Jim, we think wisely, chose not to repeat the same pose in the next panel so that the page would have a little more visual variety. But since the cycle still showed up, we gotta maintain that it really didn't matter or the story wouldn't make any sense. Finally, Johnny didn't mention Linda's danger at the hospital because he was A, in a state of semi-shock, and B, heavily sedated, thus delirious on top of that. We hope that answers your questions, Mr. Melvin, because we're out of breath. Our typewriter ribbon is starting to fray, it's 3:20 a.m., and we're ready to collapse. Dear Roy, I've been looking at the cover of Ghost Rider number 3 and something about it was bugging me. I just realized what it was. Ghost Rider's fire cycle doesn't emit exhaust fumes, but fire. Fire consumes oxygen, right? So if everyone sells his or her soul to Satan, goes back on the deal as Johnny did, and learns how to control his or her powers, we'll be in a lot of trouble. Somehow, I just can't picture a fire auto. That's something to think about. Something to think about, all right, but not at 3:25 in the morning, Mark. Come on, give us a break, will you? Satan speaking. It is my plan to rid the mortal world of air pollution, Mark Brooks. If all men traverse the byways of earth in fire autos, thus consuming oxygen, there will eventually be no oxygen. No air pollution. It's as simple as that. Ha 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 ha. Yuck, yuck, yuck,
Holy
yuck, yuck.
shit.
Dear Marvel, Ghost Rider is one of my favorite comics, and I hated seeing it go by monthly. The reason I'm writing is to try for my first no prize in Marvel Spotlight number 12. When Johnny and Linda were coming back to the world in the Son of Satan's Chariot, Johnny was in his human form, but in Ghost Rider number 3, in the exact same scene, he's the Ghost Rider. How can you get out of this one? Easy, Don. We just award you a no prize and go to sleep. See, it's 3:32 in the morning, and good night. Why did they answer all of these questions at 3:30 in the morning? What the hell? Oh my gosh. Hey, look, it's a Marvel value stamp. These are usually cut out. People collected these. A lot of the Hulk 181, which is the first appearance of Wolverine, often have this stamp cut out. So that's kind of cool. This is like the same era as that. Hey, Marvel value stamp. That's nice. I like that. That's cool. Alright, well, that was Ghost Rider number 5, my horribly beat up version. Yeah. Do you not normally answer questions specifically at 3 a.m.? Not usually, no. Usually at 3 a.m. I'm like sitting in bed playing pinball or reading or trying to sleep. Okay, well, that should be it for today. We got through old 1947 Real Clue crime stories. we got Star Wars number 17 and Ghost Rider. And I'm all zoomed in. Whoops. I still remember that at 3 a.m. We're still live one night. Oh yeah, sometimes I'm still live at 3 a.m. That happened on Thursday. Alright, well, let's go find someone to raid. Thank you, everybody, again, as always, for hanging out with Comic Book Club. And again, be sure to follow R&B Pikachu if you haven't, because he starts off before I do, and he's been reading early 1940s Marvel comic books, and yeah, we try to do it together, kind of making a comic book block sort of thing. Yeah, let's find someone to raid. Who is streaming? Who is streaming today? I don't know. Who should we raid? We could raid it's Kodathan. What's he playing? Let's see what he's up to. Themisia? Yeah, sure. Let's see. Have a great night. You too, Diggler Dirk. I'll make sure to ask a bunch of questions specifically at 3 a.m. Thanks for stream, Metroid. Alright. Yeah, thank you everybody for hanging out. I appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoy all this goofy comics stuff. I like it. Gives me a reason to read through all this stuff. And to collect more comics. Alright. Give Kodathan a hearty hello, and I'm trying to wave. Is this waving? Yeah, sure. Have a good night, everybody. I hope you have a good week. I guess it's still the weekend because tomorrow's Memorial Day, at least if you're in the U.S. If you're outside of the U.S., then yeah, have a good week. If you're in the U.S., then have a good rest of your weekend. All right, bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.